All right, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Hope you guys are doing well today. It is Thursday. We got some big earnings dropping this evening. We got some small earnings dropping today. We got Pfizer earnings. The big thing today is the gross domestic product, the GDP data dropping this morning at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. And so let's get ready for that. We got GDP data coming out today. Let me know what you guys think is going to happen for this GDP data. All right, guys. Yeah, we got some interesting stuff. Let me know what you guys think. Again, we got the GDP data dropping today. We're also going to be doing our normal polls as we do here on this channel. Let me know how the volume is. Let me know what you guys think. Hey, what's up, Cedric, James, Mountain, Fusion, DJ, Mehmet. What's up, dude? Ooh, I'm ready for my coffee, man. But hey, green or red so far this week, guys. Let me know. Rags to riches, rags to riches, rags to riches. I got that song stuck in my head now. Hey, what's up, Cedric? Hey, nice, Bob. Congrats, bro. Great trade, dude. Great trade. Yeah, SPY still sitting just around $400. Green this week. Negative GDP rug pull downside bounce, then continue selling. Yeah, Amazon. We got Apple earnings this evening with Amazon. So yeah, let me know what you guys are watching today. Right over 1 million through C this week at Scalping. Hey, congrats, James. Good job, dude. All right, we're going to do our Twitter polls as we do here on this channel. All right. So what do we got this morning here? We got like Pfizer this morning, right? What are the big earnings of today? We got Pfizer, we've got Comcast, MasterCard, Harley-Davidson, Shell earnings today. None of these are really huge traded stocks. If we're looking at kind of the list of earnings today, Pfizer, not really a wildly traded stock. We got MasterCard, which I can't remember what the stock is. Here it is, MA. So MasterCard's worth a watch, I guess. We also have Harley-Davidson, which is here. So we can watch Harley-Davidson to see how that does. Shell. Yes, we do have Shell. What's the symbol for Shell? I don't really trade that one that much. We got Merck, which I believe is MRK, pharmaceutical company. We got Keurig, Honeywell, earnings this morning. And so not really any huge earnings this morning. This evening is when the big earnings are really going to be. That's Apple, Amazon, Intel, Roku. And yeah, and then tomorrow we've got some oil stocks to go over. All right, we're gonna do our poll as we normally do on Twitter, and we're also gonna do one here. But the poll on Twitter is going to be calls or puts. We'll make it a, what, 12-hour poll? 10-hour poll. So we should make it about a 9-hour poll, I think. Go ahead and post this link here. So yeah, guys, if you want to vote on this poll, so yeah, we're doing our poll. Today is Apple and Amazon earning day. Calls or puts. Vote on the poll on Twitter. Do me a favor, vote on the poll. Also, give me a follow on Twitter if you have not already. Yeah, we also trade crypto for sure. We're kind of in the works. Bitcoin holding. Yeah, Bitcoin doing great, man. So here's the poll in chat. Again, give me a follow on Twitter. We're slowly growing our Twitter following. And thank you, Stoic. I appreciate you. Thank you. No offense to you, Stoic. It would be yeah. Apple, man. So how do you feel about Apple's earnings call today? I see you making that post. But yeah, I appreciate the follow, Stoic. Thank you, sir. Or ma'am. Or whatever you are. Sorry. But yeah, we appreciate the support, guys. Thank you, Cap. My man. What's up, Bob? Now, they're now saying the Loch Ness Monster has a plausible existence here. All right, guys, calls or puts? Calls or puts? 67% of you are saying puts. About 33% are saying calls here. And let me know what you guys are thinking here with Apple, Amazon earnings. Again, if we're looking at Apple and Amazon, Amazon recently did their split. They are about break even from the split. Once they did the split, they dropped about down to 120. I think it was a 20-to-1 split, right, for Amazon. It was a 20-to-1 split. And they dropped their price from the thousands down to the 120 level where it's currently sitting now. We also have FISA earnings this morning. And so we're going to cover that as soon as we get that data also here. So let's check Pfizer to see when that data is coming out. I don't think it's out yet. It's supposed to be dropped sometime this morning. The earnings call for Pfizer is also going to be at about 6 a.m. And so we're watching that also. I think Apple could miss earnings. We're also going to do a poll here. And the poll is, we try to do a little bit more in-depth questions here on YouTube. And so we're looking at Amazon. We're looking at Apple. Apple's got a new iPhone coming out pretty soon. I think Apple has actually been a little bit more resilient during the drops. Like I think Amazon is more extended than Apple. And so for the poll today, I think what we're going to say is, which is your preferred buy? Pre-earnings. Apple or Amazon or something like that. What are you more bullish on, Apple or Amazon pre-earnings? Stock do you like the most? Apple or Amazon? We're gonna make Apple, Amazon, and then neither an option. There's the poll for that. Vote on that poll. We just dropped that poll. What stock do you like the most pre-earnings, Apple or Amazon? So yeah, give us a vote in the chat. Certainly appreciate it. So far, we are running about 63% saying puts, 37 or 38% saying calls. All right, guys. Big run lately. Let's see what the poll says. 25 votes so far. 48% are saying Apple. 20% are saying Amazon. 32% are saying neither. Now, I do think Apple is a little bit stronger than Amazon in terms of long-term charting here. So Apple is kind of sideways over the last year. Amazon, not so much. And so I think if we're looking at it in terms of extension, I actually think Amazon might be a little bit lower in terms of extension than Apple is. But again, let me know what you guys think here. Here's Apple on the right and then Amazon on the left. And you can see Amazon is definitely red on the year. Apple is technically green on the year. And so Apple, not so extended on the downside, but a stronger, longer term chart, obviously. And then Amazon, we are down on the year. All right, what chart is better, guys? Would you rather 3 charts like this? Would you rather 3 charts like this, or would you rather 2 so it's easier to see? Hey, what's up, Spac? My man, what's up, Show? I'm equally bearish on both, but learning more bearish on Apple because of how much it ran this month. Yeah, Apple is definitely less extended on the downside, in my opinion. And again, we got GDP data dropping at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. So, hey, what's up, Santiago? What's up, Andres? Both are somewhat oversold. Potentially, Tide and BBIG on the watch today. Yeah, we got some craziness from BBIG and Tide yesterday. Tide specifically. Tide's the one that's really running. Tide's just still down so much from, when it's split off from BBIG. We'll still watch it. What did Redbox do? Did Redbox do anything? No, not really. What was the other one moving yesterday? PGY, right? PGY went absolutely nuts. Again, the risk in these is that you can hold them and you can buy them and you can trade them, but just don't marry them because they rarely hold their gains. JP Morgan saved me yesterday. I was super down on a Q call that were due yesterday and it gained 660% when it was down 50. Nice, Menina. Hey, nice. I mainly listen when the trading starts and toggle back and forth. Yeah, all good, James. No worries, bro. Which one do you like the most? Do you like 2 charts, 3 charts, or 4 charts up here? I know 4 charts is going to be a little bit harder to see each individual one. We can also do it like this, so it's even better here. Yeah, y'all smash that like button. Not to go cliche, but hey, y'all hit the like button if you can. Again, we're a complete 50-50 split on this poll right here. And again, I'm going to post this poll, but look, we're a complete 50-50 split on this poll. And again, the poll goes, today is Apple and Amazon earnings day, calls or puts. We're complete 50-50 split here so far, so let me know where you're buying calls or puts today. Link is in the chat. I like 4 the old way, no charts, go all in blind. Hey, maybe next time, dude. It's a P09. All right, guys. Calls or puts today. Calls or puts. Elon came out. Much harder to make friends than enemies, Elon said. My skill at the ladder is improving. I don't know, man. I think it's easy for people to be bitter and insecure about themselves. You know, one thing that I've learned is like people just get weird, man. Like people just get weird, bro. Like old friends get weird, old acquaintances get weird. You know what I mean? Like the reality of it is most people are just like I was kind of a nerdy kid growing up. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't like some super cool kid. I mean, once I got a little bit older, I'm not gonna say I wasn't really a cool person. I wouldn't say I was popular, I guess, in that regard. But you know, I had some fun when I was a teenager, you know, and so I knew a lot of people in Baton Rouge. But I think a lot of people are just kind of bitter and insecure, you know. In all honesty, I think that in the end, you know, I was always really quiet. I was kind of a shy kid. I didn't really like, ironically enough, considering what I'm doing now on YouTube, I wasn't really a very loud person, so to speak. I was kind of a quiet, shy kid, and so I think I think people build these things up for themselves when they're young, and they think they're going to do all this stuff. And so then when they don't, you know, they kind of take it out on you a little bit. They kind of criticize you or look for reasons to attack you because they feel bad about not accomplishing what they wanted to. And I think that's just kind of part of life. And you build enemies in that way more than anything else. That's the way I've built the most enemies over time, I think. Game Shop. Never heard of that, Glenn. Little Wars. Never heard of that, man. So we have GDP data coming out at 8:30 Eastern time show. Tesla doing a split. Yeah, Tesla is doing a split. I did hear that. I don't know if I was a class clown. I was definitely, at least to a certain extent, a class clown too. But it went through stages, man. When I was really young, I was a class clown. Once I got older, once I hit like middle school and high school, I was quiet and kind of shy. Kind of kept to myself. Yeah, GDP's at 8:30 Eastern. But yeah, man, I'm from Baton Rouge. I love Baton Rouge as a place, but I haven't been there in a long time. You know. All right, guys. So we do have Tesla announcing a split. I promise you, I'm not crying. Don't think I'm crying. But no, Tesla. No, when I was in Michigan, we were playing this frisbee game where you had to throw the frisbee and hit like these bottles off of this pole, and if you did, you got like points. And when we were there, all right, let me see if I can find this Tesla reverse split news. When we were there, I went to go grab, because you're supposed to catch the bottle as it falls off, right? So I went to go grab it, and the pole went back and just kind of like whacked me right in my face, right? Hit me right in the eye. And so it looked like I was crying. And I wasn't. It just hit my tear ducts. Like whenever you get hit in the nose or the eye, like your tear ducts open up. And I had to sit there and be like, everybody, I'm not crying. Guys, I'm not crying, I promise. Is it a forward split? I'm looking for the news. I don't see it. All right, so crypto exchange FTX opens up stock trading to all states. Wow. All right, so Elon Musk's brother, Kimball Musk, exercised an option to buy 25,000 Tesla shares. Here's Tesla on the right. I don't see anything about the Tesla split. I'm gonna have to look this up somewhere else. I don't see anything about it on Benzinga. Does anybody have the data on the Tesla stock split? Because I'm having a hard time finding the news for this, for the split. 1-3 split. Yeah, I don't see anything new for this, though. If you guys have any data on this, somebody send it to me. Because I don't see much about a split today. I don't see anything yesterday, too. Check Discord. Thank you, Spac. I appreciate you. Thank you, sir. Hey, what's up, Douglas? I see you there, man. What's up, dude? Hope you're doing well, man. Yeah, we got Apple, Amazon earnings after hours. Looking for the split news. Maybe it's in general chat. There we go. Thank you, Spac, my man. I appreciate that. Tesla just filed its annual proxy statement with the SEC revealing plans for a 3-for-1 stock split. Larry Ellison is not going to go for re-election, board member. But yeah, proposed 3-for-1 stock split. So they're going to take every 1 share and break it into 3 shares. And so after this type of split, just to give you a calculator, I mean, we could kind of do the math ourselves in our head, but just to give you the exact number here, 823 divided by 3 is going to equal about $274 per share after the split. And so it's going to be a little bit closer to like SPY price or like the cube price, really, or say like, you know, it's going to be a little bit closer to all that stuff. It's going to be definitely much more affordable. I know GDP data comes out at 8:30 Eastern time. Yeah, man, but when I was playing that game, dude, that thing whacked me right in the eye, bro. It literally messed with my eye for days and days. Yeah, we've been talking about Tide. Tide ramping up some. You know, I think we got to look at the historical levels for Tide and see what's going on here. Again, specifically, you know, I think we got like 150 as a big level that we should watch. 150 $half area underneath us. Above us here, we do have some previous high levels for Tide up there at like 170, I think 180. We got a big level at 2 that a lot of people are going to be watching as well. And we'll see, you know, we'll see regarding Tide. Hey, what's up, Tyler? They vote in August for the shares and split. Yeah. Looking at our poll here, we got 63 votes. What stocks are you do you like the most pre-earnings, Apple or Amazon? 43% are saying Apple, 20% are saying Amazon, and 36% are saying neither. We also did a poll on Twitter with 24 votes so far, and we said calls or puts on Apple and Amazon earnings today. 50% said calls, 50% said puts. It's a straight split down the middle. Again, weird. Is that right? Do y'all think that's right? Like, do you think it's really a split right down the middle? And so, yeah, what do you guys think about raising rates 75 basis points? If we look at like the market, like SPY here, you know, SPY reacted pretty positively this. Again, I thought we might have been a little bit extended on this, you know, move after it happened. I didn't think we were going to hold the entire move. And sure enough, we're pulling back down. We're now under $400 here. And again, I just think we might have had a little bit of an overreaction to the FOMC announcement for the 75 basis point rate hike. Man, so you're in a big position, Daniel. Nice, man. Yeah, we got the GDP data is coming out, guys. Don't worry. Don't worry. We got the GDP data dropping, and we're going to cover it live here as we do. It's going to be at 8:30. All right, guys, we're going to put our scroller on the bottom of the screen so we don't look so plain here. You can see kind of the data coming out today. Anything running in pre-market? Let me check. I don't really see much. I'm looking at kind of the penny stock movements here. Tide is running, obviously, TYDE. We have BOXL that's moving up a little bit, JAKK. But, most of these look like smaller penny stocks. AVCO, Dare, Nova. Kind of a quiet morning outside of everything else that we're talking about with earnings and stuff. Pfizer's dropping earnings. Harley Davidson is dropping earnings today. And we'll let you know when those come out. Man. All right, so Pfizer just dropped their results. So Pfizer just came out with their results. We're going to post them here. Here's the Pfizer numbers. So Pfizer did just drop their results. This is them right here. The Pfizer is out. There is the Pfizer results. Again, you can see it's all the way down to 51.75. Now they posted a second quarter adjusted EPS of $2.04 per share profit, beat the 180 per share profit estimate. Sales of 27.7 billion, beat the 25.98 billion estimate. So a beat all the way around for Pfizer. Kind of a weird earnings market, man. We've had a lot of stuff that posts better than expected results and then drop. I guess it's all relative to expectations here. Non-GAAP EPS of 204, beat by 26 cents. Revenue. They raised lower end of fiscal year 2022 EPA guidance or EPS guidance, and so they kind of had they kind of were close to on par with expectations for guidance. But the reason Pfizer is neutrally reacting to this is because their guidance was, while it was on par with expectations, it was on the lower end, right? So guidance came in at 98 to 102 billion versus the 102.92 billion estimate. So technically we're right around that 102 billion estimate, but it's on the lower end of that. And so with that, we're kind of having a neutral reaction, even though, Pfizer did have an earnings beat in terms of EPS and, revenue. What is a cipher B? I don't know what that is, Brian. Hog beat as well. Okay, got you. So Harley Davidson dropped their numbers as well. We'll post those here too. They posted second quarter EPS of 146, beat the 112 estimate. Sales of 1.27 billion, beat the 124 billion estimate. And I could, of course, I think most automakers and just vehicle makers are going to be profiting right now because of the ridiculously high prices. I know they're going to have higher numbers on their end as well, like higher. They're going to have lower margins. At least I'm assuming they would. For makers here, but here we're gonna put these numbers up. There's the Hog and Pfizer numbers right there. Here is Revlon, man. It's been a while since I even seen Revlon, and yeah, Revlon's just quiet. It just doesn't do anything, man. That's the problem with it for me. Here's the Q. Q is at 305s right now. Hey, what's up, Quan? TNXP gap. Yeah, TNXP is moving up a little bit. We can look at why. It's at 178 right now. Let's look at why it's moving. So Tonix Pharmaceuticals, which is TNXP, announces a collaboration with Kenya Medical Research. To develop the TNX-801 in Kenya as the prevention of mpox and smallpox. And it's moving up some. It's at 180s right now, 180s. There we go. Yeah, I've never heard of that. I'll have to check it out, Brian. But yeah, I've never heard of that, just to be honest. All right, so we are a little bit less split now on Apple and Amazon earnings. Poll that we did on Twitter. more and more people coming out with paid courses, man. And like I get it, dude. I'm not like knocking anybody with paid courses, but like I'm just always gonna be free, man. You know. While it's tempting to try to make millions selling courses on publicly available content, I'd rather just have traders support it and remain free. You know what I mean? And hopefully you guys keep supporting me in that way. Not financially, of course. I just mean support me through your appreciation. And yeah. All right, so what do you usually start to stream? We usually start about 6:30 in the morning. Yeah, I don't know what Cypher B is. BKKT? We'll have to check it out another time. BKKT is not really doing that much. Did they drop earnings or something like that? I know IMPP had earnings as well, but AMC back up to 1440s here. Here's the SPY itself on the right. I might buy something up today. I could short the market too. I mean, that's always an option, to be honest here. Do you think the market holds the gains it made over the FOMC meeting? Is a poll we should have done, I think. I don't know if I did a poll yet. Let me see. Okay, yeah. We also had an interesting poll here. We did this poll, and again, I'm not going to say I'm a psychic, but I'm pretty close, That's all I'm saying. But we did this poll yesterday about an hour before the FOMC announcement, and we asked people, we said, hey, do you think 75 basis points is enough of an increase for today's rate hike decision? And so we actually, everybody was expecting 75 basis points, but 68% of people said no. And again, it's kind of a fine line here. It's a balancing act with this type of stuff because, again, what it ultimately does is, okay, so if they don't raise rates enough, people are going to worry long-term about inflation, right? But if they raise rates too much short-term, we're going to feel some pain. And so at this point in time, I think prices are so high that people are just ready for them to go down. And so they're okay with short-term pain if it means long-term inflationary drops. And hopefully that's the case. But yeah, we'll see what happens here. And again, we're going to do another poll on Twitter right now because I've been kind of liking doing these polls on Twitter. I think it's a great way to grow a great engagement method for my following. And the poll we're going to ask today is, are we extended on the upside after the 75 BP rate hike yesterday? I think it's a good question. I think it's a good question. Are we extended on the upside after the 75 basis point rate hike yesterday? If you want to vote on this poll as well, again, give me a follow on Twitter. Great way to help to show support for the channel here. There's the link. How do you feel about Rev today? I mean, listen, yeah, I'm not an investment professional. I think Revlon was a short squeeze, but now it's just very, very slow. And so I'm not really going to do anything with this until it picks up some volume. There's not really anything to analyze here. I mean, all we have really is chop, to be honest, for Revlon over the last day. So just no movement here, no movement the day before, not really any movement except for downward movement. And, the last time we really had good volume for Revlon was, what is this, on the 6th of July. So, almost a month ago. And so, yeah, I mean, Revlon just needs volume if I'm going to trade it. And until then, I'm just not going to mess with it. It's just, I think, like I said, it was a short squeeze, a while back. But short squeezes don't last forever. And usually they're going to come back down eventually. Yeah, so the GDP. GDP data is released at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Hit that like button, team. 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Apple gonna crush earnings. Hey, maybe, man. Let's see. I'm just trying to get out of rev. Yeah, I feel you, man. Tesla looking like it wants that 850 again today. Yeah, potentially. We'll see. Right now the SPY's at over 400 here. So I guess the question is, are we extended? I asked people this on the poll here. And again, you can vote on this poll. I don't know if I posted this one. Okay, I think I did. But yeah, vote on the poll. I think IMPP dropped earnings yesterday, right? I think they already did. I might be wrong though. Yeah, so IMPP dropped numbers. They dropped EPS of $0, GAAP EPS of $0, revenue of 11.3 million. So basically, they're a break-even company right now. They're not profitable, but they're not losing either, which is, you know, arguably good, I guess, for IMPP. But yeah, they dropped EPS of 0, which means they're not making any money, but they're not losing money either. And they posted revenue of 11.3 million for IMPP. And I guess, yeah, they dropped that yesterday morning is when IMPP came out with their earnings report. But yeah, it's already out. They posted GAAP EPS of $0. Tesla popping, is it really? Let's take a look at it. Here's Tesla up to 820 or 832.90s, man. Crazy movement here. Crazy movement. And again, stick around. We're going to cover all the big news today, all the big earnings. We're going to be streaming those things live as we do here on Beginner Trading. Again, hit the subscribe button. We have been growing ridiculously fast. So help support free trading content like we do here. And yeah, hit that sub button, guys. Tesla down to 832s. All right, guys. So yeah, we got Tesla up to 832s here. Again, vote on this poll real quick, guys. Are we extended from this 75 basis point rate hike yesterday? There's the link. I think we should not call Meta as a... Yeah, but NVIDIA is a huge company asset. And okay, Meta is a ridiculously large tech company. You know what I mean? Ridiculously large. Regardless of people's opinion on Meta, and I get it, people hate. I think people really dislike Meta for political reasons. And while I understand that, Meta is still a very, 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 very large company. Don't get it twisted, man. Meta is huge, bro. It's got billions of active users. The market cap of Meta alone is, 450 billion. So that is a huge company, a huge, huge company. Now, maybe you were saying that in jest a little bit, but yeah, Meta's huge, bro. Hey, what's up, Aiden? Short everything, hey. All right, Meta's starting to rebound a little bit, though. It's back up to 162.30s. All right, guys. Some guy bought 1.1 million and 160 strike puts and what? Big Mac. Hey, what's up, Joe? What's up, Daniel? What's up, dude? Yeah, Meta did okay considering everything. I mean, again, Meta posted mixed results, I'm pretty sure, right? No, I think Meta missed on both metrics, didn't they? All right, so the US FTC is seeking to block Meta's acquisition of VR content makers, citing antitrust concerns. Within Unlimited, the FCC called Facebook a, quote, global technology behemoth, noting its ownership of popular apps, including Instagram, Messenger, and WhatsApp. Yeah, but do they consider Messenger a separate app from Facebook? Because I always thought it was the same thing. The FTC argued that the acquisition of Within by Facebook would, quote, tend to create a monopoly in the virtual reality dedicated fitness apps market, Reuters. See, but this is kind of nonsense, man. I don't know why the FTC would even try to do that. In the end, man, to be completely real, we need enough support from big companies like this in the metaverse, than anything. Like blocking this because they're going to create a monopoly, bro. We need companies in the metaverse. We need a big company like that, bro. That's the whole point. Every other metaverse company is trying to do the same thing. And while I disagree with a lot of Facebook's and Meta's moves, I think this is a little silly from the FTC trying to claim it to be a monopoly in that regard. If they're going to set that standard, then they got a lot of other people they got to do that to, No, I can't watch TV in here anyway. Is Bitcoin up? Bitcoin over 23K. Hey, up almost 7% in the last 24 hours. ETH, man, look at ETH, guys. ETH is up to almost 1,700 again. Or not really 1,700. It's up to 1620s, though, which is great. Comcast failed to get more customers. Good, bro. Comcast is on the way out, bro. I'm telling you. Comcast needs to go. Bro, I incredibly dislike Comcast, bro. I hate Comcast, dude. Comcast needs to go, bro. And honestly, I truly, objectively, if I can be objective, that is, I truly think Comcast is on the way out. And let me explain why, okay? I think that people are going to move away from contract-based services in internet and TV. I think they already have to a certain extent. Like, again, I showed people this yesterday. I signed up for a fiber optic company, and I pay $90 a month, no contract, with 1,000 upload speed and 1,000 download speed. I get a gig on both sides, $90 a month, no contract. Why do I need Comcast, bro? Same thing with cable, bro. Cable especially more than internet. I think Comcast will be around, but I don't think they're going to grow like they want to, because I think people are going to gravitate away from that. People are going to go, instead of getting locked into a ridiculously overpriced, obscene contract with Comcast. Instead, people are going to start going to the Sling, Hulu TV, YouTube TV. People are just going to gravitate away from sleazy contracts with Comcast. And I think that's going to hurt their bottom line. It's going to hurt their growth. And eventually they're going to be on the way out. I know Comcast is a huge company, but at least I can dream, right? Let me know what you guys think. Meta will be swimming in money if the Meta reaches its full potential. Yeah, for sure. But the question is, will it? I think it's the real big question here. Yeah, for sure, Tyler. There's so many monopolies everywhere. I think, again, I disagree with a lot of what Zuck has done. What Zuckerberg has done. I disagree with a lot of what he's done. But I think in this regard, FTC is being a little bit unreasonable. I think if they're going to go after monopolies in that way, then they got a lot bigger ones to worry about than Facebook trying to get into the metaverse. I just think that we need support. And even though I disagree with a lot of what Meta does, I think the metaverse needs to grow. And I think if the FTC is out here doing that, I think they're trying to stifle that growth with this. And so, and they might be doing this intentionally as a way to stifle cryptocurrency and the metaverse growth. Maybe I'm just speculating, but I do think that's unreasonable. Don't sue me. Yeah, I think Comcast needs to make some acquisitions if it's going to survive long term. Starlink, yeah, that's right. Starlink, man, for sure. Man, that's tough, Pawn, for your neighbor, man. Sorry to hear that, dude. Yeah, so still like how fast the yeah, but it's not worth the difference. Big says, I still like how fast the response time is for cable TV. Streaming services lag a lot. Yeah, but that's not justifiable to pay what they're asking you to pay. Like, again, Comcast's problem is that they lock you into these ridiculous contracts and they lie to you. Like, the CSR reps lied to you. They literally lie to you, man. They'll tell you, hey, your bill's $150 a month. Okay, great, cool. You'll get your bill the next month. Boom, $300-$400. And they'll tack on all these expenses that they didn't mention. And the reason they do that is because they earn commission from signups. And so they have an interest in being misleading so that you'll stay signed up and so that the customer service reps, who should never be on a commission structure, get their commission, right? But again, I don't think it's justifiable for people to not switch. I think that regardless of lag time, if you have good enough internet, I think as internet becomes better and better, I think people are going to start leaving Comcast in droves. Hopefully, at least. I get to call them this month and cancel. I already paid for this month, but I get to call them this month and cancel. It's going to be glorious. I'm honestly really excited about it. I might record it too. GDP drops at 8:30. I want to hear your thoughts. Some people said that the market bottom is here when AMC and GameStop price drops near pre-levels. Do you agree? No, I don't think that's much of a factor. I don't think it matters about AMC and GameStop. You know what I mean? I don't think AMC, GameStop matter that much in terms of like relative to the overall market. I don't think they matter that much. I think that they're a very niche group. I think they have a huge following, of course, in AMC and GameStop. And again, I think AMC's to a certain extent kind of cheap where it's sitting. But I don't think AMC and GameStop impact the markets, and I don't think it's a reasonable analyzation. I don't think there's a reasonable correlation there enough to say that we're bottomed out because AMC and GameStop have done anything. In my opinion, again, I might be wrong, but I just don't think that there's enough relevance to both of those to say that if AMC, GameStop get to those levels that we have hit bottom. I don't see the correlation. Just Joe, if you're going to take me joking around and say that I'm tripping because I'm just kind of horsing around about Comcast because I'm excited to cancel Comcast, man, come on now. Don't hate. Don't be a hater, Joe. That's all I'm saying. But no, Comcast certainly cares if you cancel them. Like, I don't know if you've ever tried to cancel Comcast, but they cry and they moan and they desperately try to get you to stay with them because, again, they earn commission if you do. And listen, I got a vendetta against Comcast, man. I've dealt with them for years. Hate them as a company. Highly unlikely we've hit bottom. The realist in me thinks might agree with you. The optimist hopes that we have. I hope we have. Again, considering that we might be showing parallel rate hikes to last FOMC, I'm hoping that means that we're starting to even out a little bit, and thoughts on ENPH. Enphase dropped great earnings the other day, so ENPH did drop some pretty good numbers the other day. Here's ENPH. They've been ripping ever since. So they posted earnings beat the other day. Yeah, I mean, GameStop was a short squeeze a year plus ago. You know what I mean? All right, guys. So yeah, you can see ENPH ripping up here. Again, GameStop had the short squeeze, but again, I mean, listen, I know AMC and GameStop still have this huge following, right? But like the real question is, how much can the followers of AMC and GameStop prop these companies up? Because GameStop again has a very tough road heading up. GameStop is going to be incredibly difficult to succeed long term. It needs to drastically change its business model away from physical video game products and instead move to digital in some way. But there's going to be a lot of competition in that regard. And I'm not saying they can't do it. I know they're kind of on the road to doing that now, but that's the real question mark with GameStop is, are they going to be able to succeed in a digital downloading landscape as opposed to physical? Because I do think if you look at it objectively, physical video game products, specifically physical video games, are not going to be a thing in 5-10 years. They're just not. People aren't going to buy physical video games anymore. They just don't. They download them instead. And so with that, we'll see how that impacts GameStop. But it's an interesting thing to watch. I do not think that we'll have a V-shaped recovery, probably W-shape, maybe, hopefully. Hopefully we get a recovery in general. Yeah, GDP's in about an hour and 4 minutes. Sneaky. So yeah, about an hour and 4 minutes. All right, look at Meta starting to creep back up, though. It's at 163s here, so Meta's kind of bouncing back a little bit now, guys. Here's AMC. AMC at 14s. And I do think AMC's cheap relative to the following at hand. I don't think the following is going to let AMC fail, and I think that, I think that long term it might bounce up some, but who knows? Wait, somebody had a baby? Oh, man. Where? Hey, I found out last night I'm going to be a dad soon. Hey, congrats, Alex. Happy for you, brother. Congrats, man. Comcast fiber finally going to replace. Yeah, everybody give my man Alex a congrats. Yeah, the Discord is legit. So you just kind of post ! Discord and it'll post the Discord. And so yeah, it's legit. It's our Discord. It's free. There'll be a market for physical games, Tilly, but I don't think the market's going to be big enough. Again, I don't think the market's going to be big enough. I don't have a new kid. No, Alex has a new kid. I don't have a new kid. We might have another baby. Carol and I have talked about it. We still got some time. We're still pretty young, and we'll have time to have another kid if we want one. I don't know if we're going to. We're still kind of thinking about it. But no. Anyways, yeah. So I don't think. While I understand, like, a small percentage of people might still buy physical copies of video games, it's not going to be enough. I think a large majority of people at this point purchase digital video games instead. And with that, especially when you consider, the rise of microtransactions in video games, I think it's inevitable that eventually they're going to give away games for free, and they're going to make all their money on the back end of it. Kind of like this YouTube channel, so they're going to give away games for free, and then they're going to make money with microtransactions, I think. And I don't think all games are going to do that, but I think with that said, it's just all going to push away from physical copies of video games and instead move more towards digital downloading, as we have been. I think digital downloads have gone up like 90% over the last 5 years. I think physical purchases have gone down, 90%. And so, yeah, I just think it's on the way out. GameStop had the follow, but lost it because it's lack physical merchandise that is meaningful. Yeah, that would be cool if they entered game tournaments. I think GameStop dropped the ball in a lot of ways. I think they need to move away from their retail stores. I think their retail stores are going to be a money pit that just aren't going to work. I think if they're going to sell physical copies of video games, or if they're going to sell video game stuff, they need to get rid of the store altogether and instead just focus solely online, and maybe have some type of thing where they get systems in. They're kind of like an exclusive system offer, where I don't know about exclusive, but I think that's the right path for GameStop. I think if they just started selling things online instead of in store, the overhead for running a retail store is very high, right? And so I don't think that they make enough money to really justify that long term. And I think over time it's going to trend against them as well. Do you think SPY will hit 500 this year? Ooh, I don't know. Kind of amazing that people who started stock beginning of this year, Meta, had higher stock price loss than GameStop and AMC. Like GameStop and AMC. Yeah, for sure. All right, guys, we got about an hour until the GDP data comes out. Man, I can't talk right now. Here's Meta at 162. So we got AMC up there. Here's the SPY itself. Again, I've kind of gone over the AMC. Right, for sure, man. Have a warehouse, ship stuff out when they need, when they get purchases online. Maybe get like an app. And like use that app to like have mail order video game products. I think that's the best idea, man. It's going to eliminate a lot of the overhead pricing with retail stores, and it's just going to make it a lot easier to stay profitable as a company, you know. But I think that's a big decision and a big move. And, you know, I think sometimes, you know, in business, people tend to stay with what's comfortable to them. You know, they stay stagnant because they kind of remain to what's comfortable. But I think in business, you have to push yourself outside of your comfort zones if you want to be successful. Your business needs to constantly evolve. If you don't constantly evolve, then you're gonna die as a business, unfortunately. Oh man, I got something in my eye. There we go. But yeah, I just think you need to constantly evolve in that way, and I think GameStop needs to do that. No, I think they already have an app. So I think they already have a GameStop app. But I think if they had like a shopping app like Amazon, you know, and they might already have it. But if it was strictly shopping to where it was easy to get to, and they might already be doing this. I don't know. They should be, at least if they're not. I think we should be optimistic because those Democrats. I'm optimistic. I'm cautiously optimistic. No, I think GameStop bought EB, right? Electronics Boutique. I remember that in the mall. Old school. Super old school, huh? But yeah. The problem though is that people are so emotional about GameStop, right? So they get so upset if you have any type of like different view from GameStop holders, and so people just get weird, man. They get weird, they get emotional. They, you know, there's no objectivity, and it's just a straight emotions. And so it's like you can't really have these conversations without them getting weird and unsubscribing and crying about it, which shows, you know, an unhealthy amount of emotion wrapped up in a stock. But it's unfortunately what we see a lot of the time. Tether is trending. Why? And so a Louisiana rapper, J-Day, has, man, it's sad. Rest in peace. Unfortunately, SPY up there to 400s. Aapl at 156. We got Meta at 163, just under 163s. Yeah, 100%, Lewis. That's exactly why, bro. Yeah, TNXP did have a catalyst. GameStop is doing exactly what the music CD store had to do and started offering. The music stores had to start offering T-shirts, toys, keychains, etc., to try and keep sales going as CD sales slowed down. Right, exactly. I mean, it's obvious what's going on. But again, I think if you don't evolve, your business is going to fail, and that's the truth with like YouTube streams. If you look at my evolution as a YouTuber, over the years. We started off, streaming. We started off posting videos, and then we moved to streaming, and then we moved to, different niches of streaming, and now we cover earnings and we cover all this different stuff that helps us grow. And we've been growing ridiculous amounts lately because we're kind of switching it up and doing new things. And I think if you're on this, you have to do that. If you stay stagnant, if you stay rigid in what you do, then you're going to fail. You got to evolve, and you got to always be one step ahead. And I think GameStop needs to do that at this point in time. Hey, what's up? I am live every day at 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hey, thank you so much for the support. Sin, thank you so much. We appreciate that. Yeah, SPY is up over $400 today, over 400. Well, I mean, it depends on your generation, Tip Top. It really depends on your generation, right? Like, again, y'all might not understand how old I am, but like, I grew up in the MySpace age, and so when I was a young person, I'm still kind of young, but when I was a young person, MySpace was the big social media back in the early 2000s. Everybody had their top 8. It was kind of cutthroat out there with your top 8, and so yeah. It was crazy out there. You had your top 8, and then right around 2007, Facebook took over, and everybody went from MySpace to Facebook, and basically abandoned MySpace overnight. Luckily, your man Tom ended up selling MySpace for like 500 million, so we still banked on that. But with that said, everybody kind of gravitated over to Facebook, and then after Facebook, everybody kind of gravitated towards Instagram, and then after Instagram, Snapchat, and then after Snapchat, TikTok, right? And that was kind of the trend. But the point is that the social media companies as a whole have about a decade long lifespan, usually in terms of like how long they're truly relevant to young people. And with that said, people nowadays don't even use Facebook. They don't use Facebook. Like, young people don't. Like, young people nowadays use Instagram and TikTok. And Instagram is still owned by Facebook, which is good. But, eventually that's going to go away too, especially with the rise of TikTok, to be honest, right? And so the question is, how long does Metaverse stay relevant? Is Meta's acquisitions gonna keep them propped up long term? And what's the longevity like for Meta at this point in time? I think is the real question. I think considering that they still have billions of users right now, they're certainly okay. People were acting like they're just gonna fail in the next year. They still have billions of users right now, and so and they're very profitable, and so they're fine short term. But long term is the big question mark, in my opinion. And again, let me know what you guys think. I think Twitter was always a little bit different. I think Twitter was mostly business related, right? So Twitter was mostly business related. And so the difference between like Twitter and something else is that people use Twitter for business purposes, as opposed to Facebook, which most of it is used for personal purposes back then, especially. But Twitter has always been kind of it's for public figures to reach out. It's to follow public figures. And it's also for business reasons, right? So like if you're a business, you start a Twitter and you communicate with your following through that. And I use that to this day. Again, with that said, follow me on Twitter at Beginner Trades. But yeah, that's why people use Twitter. Here's my Twitter handle. No, I mean, listen, we got 300 people here, Melissa, so we're going to talk, I always got a little bit of more energy in the morning. I am drinking my coffee. I still got about half of it left, though. Yeah, maybe back then you might be right, Jetty. But I think right now it's mostly public figures and businesses on Twitter. But again, I mean, like I said, I might be wrong. Yeah, let's see, Melissa. Well, hopefully. Super Mario Bros. The one thing you're wrong there, Jeff, is that Super Mario Bros. Never went away. Thanks to Apple, social media company can't. Apple? I don't know. Again, we do have Apple and Amazon earnings today, which are going to be huge and impactful of the markets. So yeah, we'll see. All right, guys. So Meta still consolidating under 163. Let's see what else we got. Found the Super Mario Bros. Live TV show. Yeah, man, I used to love that show, dude. I used to wake up every I think it was Saturday or Sunday morning and watch Sonic. My mom used to make me some oatmeal. I used to watch Sonic. We got about 50 minutes left until the GDP numbers drop. About 50 minutes. What is SO, James? What is that? Again, today we had Pfizer earnings. We had Harley Davidson earnings. What is Shell stock? Is it SHEL? I can't remember what the actual Shell ticker is. But yeah, here's the SPY, Q, Apple, Amazon. We got Meta that we're watching. Meta bouncing back a little bit in pre. Southern Company, got you. All right, so just to give you guys a little bit of a tune-up regarding the GDP, and this is all quoting from CNBC. It says, quote, economists expect the economy grew just slightly in the second quarter, and some expect that it actually contracted. Temporarily, trade disruptions and the impact of C-word on the supply chain are believed to be behind some of the decline, and economists are quick to point out that even if there are back-to-back quarters of negative growth, it does not necessarily signal a recession as it often does, end quote, and that is from CNBC. So Goldman Sachs expects a 1% increase. Moody's expects a 1% decline. It's going to be released at 8:30 this morning. So we dropped 1.6% in the first quarter. And so what do you guys think is the best outcome for the GDP data? So if we are negative, that'll make the second negative GDP report in a row. And so, yeah, this is going to be huge for the market, guys. And again, let me know what you guys think is the best reaction to this, the best numbers. Hey, thank you, Tyler. Tyler said, I was never a guy to follow the herd. I was one of Joe Rogan's first 30K subs when he started his podcast. This channel has provided me much value. Hey, thank you, Tyler. We appreciate you, man. We try over here, man. Like I said, I try to be as genuine as I can. I mean, of course, I'm doing this to make money, as you guys know, and as should be understandable. But I also genuinely look out for traders. Like, I want to sleep good at night, man. And I think if I was like ripping traders off, if I was being sleazy, it's hard to morally justify, having this community. And so in order to morally justify having this community, again, I'm just trying to make it as free as I can, make it as value driven as I can, and not charge people anything. My goal is to be the anti-guru, And you get a lot of people that say that they're like that and then they switch it up. But yeah. All right, guys. SPY's still over 400 here. And again, what is the ideal GDP percentage? What do you guys think? Again, last quarter we lost 1.6%. We were down 1.6% for the first quarter. A lot of people are expecting. Goldman Sachs is expecting a 1% increase. Moody's is expecting minus 1%. 1.6% decline in the first quarter. I mean, Atlanta Fed GDP tracker has a negative 1.2% for the second quarter. So yeah, so kind of mixed numbers here, mixed expectations. And again, we'll see what we get, guys. Let me know what you guys think will happen. And we're definitely going to be following it all as it drops. Anything positive, yeah. Anything above minus. Anything not minus. Just one more indicator, but not the final decision. Yeah. SPY will probably drop to 390s and then try to reclaim. BTTX. Yeah, BTTX is gapping up some. It's moving a little bit. It's up to 230s here. Catalyst, they completed their pivotal BTO1001 trial. Positive trial results for BTTX. So we're watching that. Here's Amazon, and here's Meta. Meta all the way back up to almost 163 now. If it's down another 1.5 to 2%, yeah, definitely the market's going to react to it. Bitcoin is down. I know ETH just ripped up, man. Look at ETH. Look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin over 23K. Yeah, so that poll didn't really do that good, so we're just gonna. All right, guys. So yeah, so market's still consolidating sideways here. I'm not gonna buy anything right now. The reason I'm not buying anything, I'm already holding some stuff, but like I'm not gonna buy anything heavily right now because again, I just think there's risk there because of the GDP numbers that are gonna be announced in about 45 minutes. And so I'll sit on my current positions, but I'm not gonna buy anything pre-GDP release. Yeah, listen, BBIG is okay right now. It's moving some. The problem with BBIG is that there's so much artificial bias, I call it. There's so much bias because people are stuck because BBIG has dropped from 1250s back in September and October of last year all the way down to 82 cents in the last year, basically. And so because of that, you got so many people stuck in BBIG, and so they don't truly believe in that the stock is going to come back. It's just hope. It's optimism and hope. And so good luck. But it's just down so much already, and there's no volume daily with this. Like even the big rip yesterday was kind of low volume relative to what a lot of other penny stocks do. And so frankly, I just don't trust it. And I hope you understand. I'm not hating on you. I mean, I actually BBIG had okay volume yesterday, but even on that big volume, so yeah, let me take that back. That statement. BBIG actually had 1.13 million in shares traded, so that's actually pretty high volume. But it didn't hold its gains. It's back down to 84 cents. And so I'm just skeptical, I guess is the best word I could use for it. Skeptical. And again, I hope you guys understand. I hope, please don't be those traders who, if I don't agree with you on every stock, you just don't watch me and just, run off and only find somebody that'll pat your trades on the back. I just try to be honest with people if I can, and I don't trust BBIG, unfortunately. Robinhood at 880s. Is that a buy? Do y'all trust Robinhood? I don't personally. I don't know what Robinhood's market is going to look like in the future. They got great option trades, but aside from that, I'm not really loving Robinhood. But yeah, there's Meta at 162s, 163s here. Let's see if it comes back. I greatly appreciate you and your Discord. Truly free. Stop joining other pay-to-win groups. They just scam you. Yeah, 100%. And again, it causes this weird thing, right? Like when you pay obscene amounts of money. And again, I'm going to preface this with like, look, I am not knocking all paid services. A lot of people get weird with me and they act because I threaten their business model is what it is, right? I'm not knocking all paid services. I'm really not. Like if somebody's offering like a reasonable course under $1,000 and they actually know what they're talking about, and maybe if it's multiple, then fine. That's whatever, but if you're charging thousands of dollars for publicly available content that you can find on Google, you should feel bad, and I should call that out. But in the end, like I said, it's weird because it's like you get these people that are charging thousands and thousands of dollars for these courses, right? And they kind of talk a bunch of people into it. And then even though the people know that they're not really getting their values worth in those thousands of dollars in courses, it's like they're still so desperate to defend their purchase with confirmation bias that they're just like, this is the best course I've ever taken. This is the best group I've ever followed. This is the best course. I know I paid $6,000 for it, but it's the best group ever. It's confirmation bias at its finest. Like that's all it really is. Like they're just trying to pat themselves on the back in order to justify that expense. If I spend $6K on a course, you better believe that's the best course I've ever taken. And so that's what you see a lot of the time. And it causes this kind of toxic environment sometimes where people just get really weird if you criticize it because they're so insecure about their purchase is the best way to describe it. Meta popping back up. It's at 163s. The only reason I might like Robinhood around here is the big potential for them to get bought out. Yeah, I do think they might get bought out eventually too. Yeah. Yeah, we only got 3 seats left. It's like, bro, they got 1,000,000 seats, dude. Like, they're just trying to get you to, they're trying to get you to make an impulse decision. Yeah, all good, Tyler. Listen, if you find value in it, brother, do you, man? You know. Yeah, so again, predictions for GDP. Guys, predictions for GDP here. We're going to do a post on Twitter here, guys. We're going to do a Twitter post. And again, our post is going to say predictions for GDP. All right, guys. Meta pulling back some. SPY still trying to hold at 400. But big data out. Hey, Stan. My rent is crazy. Price of everything is going up. I hope. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy, man, because we're getting simultaneous reactions in a lot of different places, but we're also getting bubbles in a lot of places too. Like on needs. Like, here's the best way to explain the current economy. Like, needs, the prices of necessary things are higher. Cars, homes. The prices of unnecessary things are crashing. Sneaker market, you know. And so it's kind of this weird market, man. It's this weird dynamic where, you know, who knows what will happen leading into it. Inflation is just high is the obvious answer for it, or the obvious reason for it. It's just inflation's ridiculous. And again, 75 basis point rate increase, while a lot of people consider it aggressive, it's what they raised last time. So the fact that we're not increasing it more consecutively each time with the FOMC data, the rate hike, and the fact that we're not increasing the basis point raise each FOMC rate hike decision is a good sign. I think it's hopefully stabilizing and leveling out, and then we're going to start coming back down. And again, you know, the more they raise rates, the more short-term pain we're going to get, but the more optimistic long-term, I think, is the point, you know, because again, the whole point of raising rates is to discourage spending. And when you discourage spending, in order to remain competitive, prices must drop. And that's the logic behind raising rates. So a more aggressive rate increase will cause more short-term pain, but, you know, at least what they think will cause less long-term inflation. And so hopefully that gets the job done, and hopefully it's what we want. But yeah, we'll see what happens, guys. Inflation, or the gross domestic product data, is going to be dropping in about 26 minutes, in about 36 minutes. What effect will GDP have on the market? Oh, a broad effect, a big effect, man. It's the gross domestic product data, man. It's gonna, if it's negative, it's almost certainly gonna drop the markets. You know, to what extent we don't know, but if it's negative, it's almost certainly gonna drop the markets. If it's positive, I think we'll get a positive reaction, but it depends on what it looks like. I think last time we showed minus 1.6%, if I remember correctly. And if we show another minus this, you know, then we're going to get some emotional reactions to that in the stock market for sure. Hey, what's up, Walter? I saw one that was offering a free laptop with their $3,000 course. We only have 3 laptops left. Hey, marketing, I love it. I can't even knock it, man. Marketing's fine. You know, just, again, just be careful, guys. All right, guys. GDP might rebound minus 1.2%. Yeah, I think that's probably reasonable. All good, Steve. Tesla rallying up before the gap. Yeah, what's Tesla doing? Here's Meta. Meta's under 163 now. I think 163 is acting like a pretty big supporter resistance area. Here's Tesla up there to 835s. It is reeling up before the GDP announcement here. Tesla up to 830s right now. 830s. Yeah, Tesla split 3-1 split. Or 1-for-3 split, or 3-for-1 split. So they're going to chop one share up into 3 shares, basically. So you take the current price of Tesla and you divide it by 3, and that's going to be the post-split price. People trying to front run on what? Tesla? I think law enforcement should have different branches like the military. I don't know. I think to a certain extent, I think some of the police force is too militarized at this point in time. I think that, listen, I support good cops. If it's a good police officer, I can support them, of course, but I think we should also criticize bad cops. And I think it's getting to a point where it's like, if you criticize bad cops, I don't think cops should defend bad cops because they're so loyal to each other. And I understand that. But I think if you have a bad cop, you should criticize it because it's making everybody look bad. Right. And when they don't, it just seems more gang-like. You know what I mean? When you have a bad cop and the other cops are defending it out of some sense of loyalty, regardless of what they have to go through, a bad cop's a bad cop, and you should call it out. And I think it makes it, it helps transparency, and it helps everybody support police if they actually called out the bad ones, But I digress. I don't want to get too political, Can you show the pre-market price action for Tide? Yeah, Tide, a split off of BBIG over 150. I think 150 is a big support level that we can pay attention to. Yeah. Yeah, I just know there's some cops that shouldn't be dealing with the public, Yeah, I guess you're right, baller. Tied at 157s. So we'll see. BBIG. Both of these are kind of quiet right now. There's just not a ton of volume on these, in my opinion, right now. At least it looks a little slow for me in that way. Again, here's Tesla. Tesla's still pushing up pretty heavily here, up to 835s. Again, we do have the GDP data dropping in about 30 minutes. Yeah, the latest short squeezes weren't GameStop and AMC. I mean, everybody treats AMC like it's some big short squeeze play, but I've said it before, I'll say it again. AMC doesn't have like a super big short float. Not something that's going to cause like a monster parabolic squeeze. If AMC goes up, it's mostly due to the following that it has, supporting it, in my opinion. But it's not some super big short squeeze play. The float's too large on AMC and the short float is too small. The biggest short squeezes we've had recently are Revlon, Redbox, and then TBLT. And then I think PGY was one as well, although I'm not 100% sure because the short float data isn't as updated for that one. But yeah, the most recent short squeezes have been Revlon, Redbox, TBLT, and I think PGY. But as short squeezes do, they rarely hold. And so if you get stuck in these, you can't really bag hold short squeeze plays because a lot of them are just never going to come back. And so the biggest skill you can have if you're playing short squeezes is your ability to take profit. If you refuse to cut, if you refuse to take profit in these, almost all of them are going to come back down because they're not actually fundamentally healthy. They're just squeezing up because there were so many shorts involved. Well, Meta tanked today? I don't know, man. I think Meta had bad numbers that came out yesterday. And it didn't really react the worst to it, but it's kind of starting to come back down now. Look at Meta with this big drop here. Big volume coming in. Is this a catalyst-driven move? Or is this something that's going on with the broader market? It looks like Meta is leading the SPY here. You can see the SPY on the left, and it looks like it's getting dragged down by Meta considering how high the volume was. So either a big trade going through for Meta or some type of catalyst. I see Rosenblatt maintaining a neutral rating on Meta, lowered the price target to 156, and that was announced 2 minutes ago. So it looks like this is all from Rosenblatt with a neutral rating and lowering the price target from 181 to 156. It looks like here. So rating cut basically for Meta, or price target cut, maintaining neutral, but price target cut. And so we do have some initial reactions to that so far, but nothing too crazy. Yeah, I don't think cops go into it wanting to do that, but I just think that I think I think some people aren't meant to be police officers, and I think that if you lack self-control, or if you have like a control complex to where you need to control people and things, and you don't have that empathy for people, I don't think you should be a police officer. You know, I think police officers need a little bit better training in that way, because, and again, I think it needs, if a cop obviously does something wrong, then cops should criticize that. And what I see a lot of the time is something obviously wrong, but cops are just blindly defending it out of some skewed sense of loyalty, and I don't think that's healthy. I think it makes them look worse, and I think, I think they should call out that behavior instead of, supporting it just because he's a cop. Spy dipping down though, meta dipping down to what, as well as at 162s. But again, I'm going to go away from this conversation. It's too political. I'm pretty neutral politically. I don't really root for either side. I'm pretty neutral, to be honest. And so I'm going to avoid this conversation now. Plug. Yeah, I heard somebody saying plug moving up. Meta with the price target cut by Rosenblatt. Plug is up there to 1930s. Is this a earnings release? Hey, what's up, Chewy? Yeah, let me look at plug. I see the market dropping here. Does anybody know why? Yeah, I don't see why plug is moving. It might be just be, plug is probably moving up because Tesla. It's sympathy with Tesla. Tesla rip it up, getting all the way up to 830s, and so plug is following it up because it's an EV sympathy move. Yeah, that's what's going on. Is Tesla's moving up and plug is following it, but plug is also up a solid amount in pre. Maybe just on EV sympathy. Let's look at Neo here. Neo's down. What's another EV? Rivian, Lucid. Yeah, so I'm looking to see why plug is up. Technicals, maybe? I don't know. Let me know your argument for why plug is up. Here's Meta. Meta dipping down to 160s. So we're starting to drop some. FCell, BTTX. Yeah, all good, Stefan. Again, it's too political. I'm not slamming cops. Nah, it wasn't. My man WC is just trying to start stuff. I didn't slam cops. I think what I said was obviously true. But again, we're going to move on from this. And if you try to antagonize, you're just going to get banned, sir. You'll get Willy Wonked. SPY at 399.90s. And so again, I told you guys, I thought the market was a little bit extended. I thought we had a little bit of an overreaction to the Fed rate hike decision. I thought we had a little bit of an overreaction to that. And so we'll see what happens. We'll see if the SPY actually holds these numbers. Again, the GDP data is coming out in about 26 minutes. And yeah, some of the EV charging companies. What's another one? Like Blink, BLNK is another EV charging company that I know of. And yeah, BLNK is up too. So it looks like EV charging is moving up in sympathy, maybe, I guess, with Tesla. But what's weird is that plug looks to be more green than Tesla does. And so Meta is dragging the SPY down. GDP prior was minus 1.6%. This quarter is expected 0.3% negative. So do you mean minus 0.3% or do you mean 0.3% growth, Aaron? So the GDP data is going to come out. It's just going to be a report that's released, and we're going to cover it as soon as it happens. So as soon as that data drops, again, in about 25 minutes, we're going to cover it as soon as it happens, Ricky. So stick around, hit that subscribe button. Yeah, so 8:30 Eastern time is when the GDP data drops. Plug is up there. Here's Meta, though. And I think Meta, the analysts remaining neutral but down, but lowering the price target on Meta, I think is affecting it short term. Again, so we have our Twitter here. Give me a leave a comment on my Twitter account. Here's my Twitter account, guys. Leave me a comment letting you know, or letting us know what your expectation for GDP is. There's the post right there. Again, if you could give me a follow on Twitter, we got almost 400 people here. I'd appreciate it. And like I said, leave me a comment on Twitter. The question is, again, we can show you guys the question here. It is predictions for GDP. So let us know what your predictions for the GDP are. So GDP is expected to show the economy grew at a 0.5% annualized rate, rebounding from the first quarter's minus 1.6%. And so do you think we'll be positive or negative? And again, let us know in that Twitter comment what your predictions for this. Okay, new climate bill, Vin. Okay, that's plausible. Includes 4,000 tax credit for used EVs and other new taxes. Okay, that's actually probably why they're running up today, Glenn and Vin. So I appreciate you guys, Glenn and Vin, the goats. Thank you guys. Tide moving. Yeah, Meta's still trying to hold at VWAP here. Here's Tide dumping down below 150. So yeah, Tide dropping below 150, which is kind of a big level too. Meta dropping as well. We got Apple, Amazon, SPY here too. I mean, Carl, I'm not saying I agree or disagree with any of the numbers. We're just looking at how the market's going to react to this stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah, but I think that's actually probably correct here. Again, so what Glenn said, which is a Senate bill including a 4,000 tax credit for used EV and other tax credits to grant automakers tools and factories to build. So, yeah, so it's that tax credit and bill for EVs is boosting EV companies, including Tesla, including if you want to see what's moving, Plug, Blink, Tesla. The only one's not is in NEO, but NEO's not an American company, and so it's understandable why they're not going to benefit from this. Again, here's the Q, so a little bit more tech weighted, and it's dipping down to 304.50s. Meta is currently at 161s, so it's dipping down too. Hey, thank you, Nita. I appreciate the follow. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think anything positive for GDP might cause a good reaction. I think a lot of people are expecting negative. Man, how about this $1 billion plus lottery? Meta now under VWAP, guys. We got about 21 minutes, guys. 21 minutes. We got about 400 people here, so take the time, hit the like. BTTX. Yeah, I had a few people talking about BTTX as well here. Big rip in pre-market. Pulling back some now. I could buy this, I guess. The problem is that it's below VWAP. There we go. All right, we got 25 shares. We'll add 50. Let's take 100. We'll go ahead and take 100 shares of this for BTTX. Bought the pullback. Probably, again, just kind of a little feeler trade, early trade. And so, yeah, we bought a little bit of BTTX. They're just very small. I don't trust enough anything to buy a large cap right now, pre-earnings report, or pre-GDP data, I mean. And so I don't really trust buying any large cap right now. I'm going to sit on the large caps I'm currently holding, but I don't trust it enough to buy any large caps at this point in time. So we'll see what happens. We'll come back to BTTX. We're still watching Meta here. But we're in BTTX. And we're going to look at Meta to see how, the GDP report reacts, or how the stocks react to the GDP report. Hey, good luck, Haley. Hey, what's up, Chaotic? Hey, good morning, Chris. Hope you're doing good, bro. Again, man, crypto flying up, man. Bitcoin over 23K, ETH up to over 1600s. So just great movement for cryptocurrencies today. right, guys, Meta's down. What did I buy just now, man? I can't remember. It was Man, what was it? I had a lot of people mentioning it today. Let me see. BTTX. Yeah, okay, that's what I bought. Yeah, we're in 100 shares. I'll add some more maybe if it dips down to 242. We'll take a little position here. We'll see what we get. Again, here's Meta. Market's kind of sideways, but dropping short term. Meta's now under VWAP here, so we'll see if that level holds also. GDP numbers come out in about 18 minutes, and we're going to cover it as soon as it happens. Estimates for GDP numbers are mixed. I'm seeing anywhere between -1% to 0.3% up, 0.5% up, 0.6% up. Those are kind of what a lot of, but again, I think anything positive is okay. You know, I'm not going to say it's good, but I think if it's positive, then that's, you know, that's better than negative, clearly. Hey, what's up, J-Mon? Hey, good morning to you as well. Hope you do well. Yeah, guys, check out his stuff in the Discord. Check out JB's stuff in the Discord. A lot of stuff. All right, guys. So yeah, Meta below VWAP. Apple holding a little bit. Let's look at Amazon now. So here's Amazon in the middle. Amazon at that 120 level, and it's about neutral from the split it did a while back, a few weeks ago. So Amazon's still pretty neutral. Again, if we're looking at extension here, I think Amazon is definitely more extended on the downside than Apple is. And so, you know, we'll see what happens. Do you ever search for VWAP crossovers? Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it depends on what you classify as a VWAP crossover. One of my favorite strategies, just to kind of show you on Meta, I guess we can show you. Meta's just nonstop bearish action. I can show you a short example of it. One of my favorite short strategies is this. And if you guys want to know, like, a short strategy that can actually bring in some solid momentum, this is it right here. All right, so a red to green move. A lot of people know green to red moves, right? But a red to green move actually has far more momentum than long moves. You know, the common logic is when you go long, you take the stairs. When you go short, you take the elevator. And so if you look at this, this is one of the most powerful, consistent strategies in the stock market if you can short. And if you can't short with shares, you can short in futures. You can short with crypto or whatever you want to do, really. But you look for a stock that opens up green. Opens up green, holding over VWAP. You can see this purple line right here is the volume weighted average price. You wait for it to reject below VWAP, and you wait for it to hold one confirmation here. One confirmation under VWAP, which means that it rejects at VWAP at least once. Okay, and so it looks like a Z. You can see upward move, rejection under VWAP, and then you want one confirmation here. Here's the confirmation it rejected at VWAP right here. Once that happens, you get the green light to go red. You get the green light to attack shorts. And if we zoom out here, big move afterwards, big move. And what I usually do is I look to short into the subsequent pops. And I have a few videos on this as well. And you just write it down. Very profitable, very consistent strategy in the market. And of course, but at the same time, I can't guarantee you're going to make money. But this is single-handedly one of the easiest short strategies I take on a daily basis. We don't get it every day. But if you could wait for those red to green or green to red strategies, they can be powerful. I use 1 minute candles, boss man, but it's a scalping strategy for me. Yeah, green to red move is what I meant, Various. That's correct. But yeah, it's a scalping strategy. And so a lot of the time I'm buying the SPY directly or selling or shorting the SPY directly. Again, I got about a $30,000 account with 120K in BP. And so, you know, we can short the market as much as we want. But if you can't, you can always trade futures or whatever you want to do, really. You think Snap will go above 10? I'm still holding my Snap position. It's a small position. I still only got 25 shares left, but we're break even on this trade so far. But I do believe Snap's going to rebound long term. I think Snap's very cheap considering the base of users that they currently have. I just think Snap's really cheap right here. But again, I might be wrong. Maybe it just crashes for all I know. Meta tried to bounce back up. It's at 160, 170. SPY is at 399.94, so right under $400. And again, I told you guys yesterday as the SPY was ramping up that I didn't trust the market was going to hold the gains it put in yesterday for the Fed meeting. I didn't trust that it was going to hold the gains that it put in. And so far, we've been slightly correct. We're not going to say we've been wildly correct, but we've been slightly correct as we did drop some since I said that. At the same time, though, I think if we get back over 400 on the SPY and hold, and maybe if we post positive GDP percentages, then we might get some more bullish action. But again, we got 13 minutes before the GDP numbers drop, and we'll see what happens. Is the opposite true that if it bounces up from VWAP? So yeah, that's called a VWAP bounce. We do a lot of content. We actually just dropped a video not too long ago on the VWAP bounce. It's called Understanding the VWAP Bounce Trading Strategy for 2022 Advanced VWAP Indicator Course. And so this kind of goes over the different variations of the VWAP bounce, and that is definitely one of them. And so I'm going to post this here as well if you want to check out that video. And we drop a lot of free content, and so if you could hit the like button on these videos, give me a comment on any of these videos. Let me know what you guys want to see in terms of videos. And again, it's all free. No, I don't really use a scanner. It's still 30K. Thought it was very profitable. Well, I mean, number one is I withdraw my money, once we hit 30K. I kind of use that as my ceiling. I don't need more buying power than that. And so, we keep my account number, mostly at 30K consistently. Hey, thank you, Robert. I appreciate that. Thank you, Mois. I appreciate that as well. Thank you, sir. What kind of news does GDP need to have to go down? Negative GDP percentage. Again, last time it was 1.6%. I think people are expecting an array of different numbers. But what I've heard is anywhere between, they're expecting anywhere between minus 1.2% to positive 0.6% is what I'm hearing. If we show positive 1%, that should make the market rip. But again, it varies. The expectations vary as well as, what we had last time was 1.6%. So we'll see. Hey, thank you, Mois. Hey, thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man. UVXY, strongest buy signal I've seen. Be careful, family. Well, yeah, UVXY is just a volatility ETF, but it essentially does the opposite of the SPY. And so if you look at UVXY and then you look at the SPY, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's just opposite. So you had this big move up in the market yesterday with volatility. Like just to give you an example, you had this big move up, and then on UVXY, you get this big move down. So it's really the opposite. So SPY goes up, UVXY goes down, and vice versa. And so if it's a buy signal on the UVXY, that essentially means that you are predicting that the market is going to drop. And, I'm not saying I disagree with you. I really don't know. It's all relative to the GDP numbers dropping in about 10 minutes, but, we'll see. What kind of GDP do we need to have for Bitcoin to crash? I think Bitcoin's been following the market pretty closely lately. Not exactly, but close enough. I think if GDP is bad, then Bitcoin's going to drop, obviously. To what extent, I'm not sure. No, Tesla works on technical analysis, at least long term. I love buying Tesla for swing trades. Because if you look at this here, look, these are my favorite swing trades to get involved with Tesla, because look, you can establish a support level that is held multiple different times. And so when you can combine one here, here's one at 980, right? Or 1,000 is probably a better example. But 980 is kind of the low. And essentially you can just wait for this to pull back some. And so say you identified this back here on Tesla way back here. When was this? In November. And you said, okay, well, the next time it pulls back to 980, we're going to buy that dip. It would have worked here. It would have worked here. It would have worked here. And it probably would have worked here too. And so it's going to work most of the time here with Tesla buying these dips for swing trades and just selling within a day or two. So my favorite swing trades are to wait for these dips, buy them short term, and then sell them quickly. Right, so you wait for them to pull back and you sell them quickly. But Tesla definitely follows technicals to a certain extent. But I guess, it's subjective on whether you trade it or not. But I like Tesla because of that. And I do think Tesla follows it. I think Tesla impacts the markets heavily as well. And so, it's one of those things that people just pay attention to because it's such a big company that, it impacts markets just a lot. Meta is at 161.80s. All right, guys, 8 minutes. We got about 515 people here. So, hey, guys, hit that sub button, hit the notification bell. We certainly appreciate it. If it's negative again, how low can the market drop? Well, I mean, nobody knows how low we're going to drop. We can look at support levels underneath us to see if we can find a stabilization level here. So 390s is kind of a big level. Underneath that, we got 380s there. $400 is obviously a pretty big short-term level here on the SPY. So we're going to clear all these out and kind of draw some new levels here. Again, 400 is a big one, psychological level. 390 is a big one underneath that. So we'll see. Yeah, about 8 minutes. USEA, good squeeze. Yeah, USEA is up, but the volume's still kind of light relative to what a lot of people want in terms of penny stock momentum. A small float, though, about 1.46 million in the floats. Company announced the delivery dates of its recently announced tanker fleet acquisition. So, yeah, this isn't a squeeze, I don't think. It doesn't have any short float that I can see either for USEA. United Maritime Corporation. Wait a minute. What stock was this before? This was a stock before. It was a different symbol, though. Looks like they changed symbols. What was it before? I remember this stock. But yeah, USEA is up after they updated on tanker delivery schedule and announced the closing of a previously announced equity offering at $3.25 per share. So that's the reason it's up, but it's not a squeeze necessarily, I don't think. Might be. I might be wrong. There's Meta. Meta's still consolidating around that 162 level. SPY over 400 again, so that's good. Again, 7 minutes until the GDP announcement here. 7 minutes. The GDP data will be released to most major stock trading news platforms. I'm going to use Benzinga to find mine. Or I'll use a mix of Benzinga and TD Ameritrade to get the data. A lot of the time, but I'll get it as soon as it happens. So just bear with me. We'll report on it as soon as it drops. So don't worry. As soon as it comes out, we'll have it for the most part. Maybe in like 30 seconds after it drops, max is usually when we'll get it. But we'll get it pretty quick. Do you personally only trade one-day options? No, I rarely trade one-day options. There's too much risk. Time decay is too heavy in those. Most of the time, if I'm day trading options, I'll buy like weeklies or something like that. What's up, Justin? Oh, it used to be SHIP. That's right. SHIP. That's right. Okay, that's what I know it from. Caster Maritime. Maybe that might be right. But it was SHIP. SHIP. What's up, Max? All right, guys. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Good luck. Predictions for GDP, let me know. Again, thank you for everybody that's following me on Twitter. We got a lot of follows here on Twitter, so I appreciate you guys. Meta still consolidating around VWAP. SPY still consolidating right at 400, and then Amazon popping back up to 120.29. I'm going to put Tesla right here in the middle. So here's Tesla up to 835s again. EV bill, tax credit bill is up, so people are waiting for that. Again, 4 minutes. GDP at plus 0.5, and we go to the moon. Maybe. Definitely 1, and we're going to the moon. Short position would say that they announced officially a recession. What's the chances of that, though? I don't know. All right, guys. Again, GDP data coming out in about 4 minutes. All right, guys, listen, take the time, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We certainly appreciate the support, guys. And yeah, let's keep growing. All right, guys, Meta pushing up to 120 or 162.30s, 162.30s. All right, so 162.50s for Meta. Meta's pushing up a little bit pre GDP data at 162.70s right now. 163 has been a known resistance short-term level. So let's watch 163s here, but it's starting to creep up there over VWAP though. So regardless of whether it breaks or holds over or under that, it still should be an optimistic sign for Meta, at least if it's over VWAP short-term. About 2 minutes, guys, 2 minutes till GDP data is released. And again, we're going to cover it as soon as it drops. Yeah, Bitcoin now under 22 or 23K at 22.9K. Do you think it'll bounce back fast if we go down? It depends on what the numbers are, to be honest. Miners are plus 0.3%. Yeah, GDP data is going to be released in 2 minutes, guys. GDP would definitely be negative. What's the expectation? Well, I've seen different expectations between minus 0.6%, positive 0.6%. It kind of varies depending on that. It's at beginner trades run. All right, guys, less than 2 minutes. Really about a minute left here. About a minute and a half, really. So good luck today, guys. Remember, be careful. Stay safe out there. Hit that subscribe button, and we're going to cover it as soon as it drops. Crypto didn't. I mean, crypto is just correcting a little bit, but crypto has moved up really nicely over the last few days. So, you know, big drop, though. That is, I mean, looking at it, it's kind of a sizable drop. But we're back up, though. Hopefully, we rebound and get back up with crypto. Meta up to 162.40s. And so I think the crypto market might be following Meta to a certain extent as well. SPY up over 400 again. Less than a minute, guys. All right, let's get ready. All right, less than a minute. All right, we're going to pull all these different platforms up so we can figure out exactly what happens as soon as it happens. All right, guys, less than a minute. All right, guys, less than a minute. Still waiting for the data to drop. All right, guys, so there's 7:30. Market's popping up a little bit. We're at 163s right now, 163s here. Let me check to see what... Okay, so we are showing continuing jobless claims coming at 1.359 million versus 1.38 million expected. Jobless claims 4-week average coming in. Okay, so the U.S. GDP for the second quarter came in at minus 0.9%. Minus 0.9% versus 0.5% expected. That should almost certainly cause the market to drop. We're at minus 0.9% here. Minus 0.9%. There's the GDP numbers right there. Minus 0.9% for the second quarter. Estimated 0.5% gain. Prior was minus 1.6%. So we are down less than last time, but it was higher than expected drop in GDP data here. And the markets are reacting to it. You can see Tesla, SPY down to 399.60s. Meta is down to 161.20s here. But yeah, minus 9% or minus 0.9%. I'm sorry. Continuing claims came out as well. And I'll include that here as well. But yeah, we showed minus 0.9%. The full data release right here. So again, minus 0.9% is what we showed versus a 0.5% gain expected prior of 1.6%. Initial jobless claims came in at 256K versus 253,000 expected as well. And so we'll post that up. But again, minus 0.9%. Here's the full data release. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Minus 0.9%. We'll post all of this here. Again, minus 0.9%. Bullish or bearish, guys? Market's correcting down some. Minus 0.9%, guys. Market's down at 399 for the SPY right now. Tesla dipping under 830s or under VWAP at 831s. Meta down to 161s. Again, we showed minus 0.9%. Bearish. Expectation was positive 0.5%. So they expected a 0.5% GDP gain. They showed minus 0.9%. And so worse than expected, certainly. Yeah. Minus 0.9%, guys. All right, SPY down to 399.17s. I think the real question now to watch for this, after we showed a minus 0.9% GDP growth, I think the real question here is how much of the gains that we made yesterday are going to be propped up, or are we going to give back all the gains? You know, if we look at the SPY right now in a 5-minute chart, you know, we had a pretty bullish day yesterday, especially like the extended hour session Monday, or the extended hour session Tuesday, yesterday's big gains. And then this morning, we've kind of corrected back down some. But again, minus 0.9%. We're now down to 399. Let's see how much of the gains that we're going to hold over the next day or so to see what we really get here. But yeah, minus 0.9%. It's time to dollar cost average. Yeah, I mean, depends on how big we drop to see whether I'm going to DCA on anything. I don't mind DCAing. I like DCAing over long periods of time, though. Yeah, Apple and Amazon earnings are certainly going to impact everything. And stick around, guys. We'll be streaming those live, too, as they happen. We're going to be day trading, swing trading, and investing at the opening bell. So if you haven't already, we got about 1,000 people here, a little bit less. Hit that subscribe button if you can. Support free trading content. And again, everything we put out there is free. We don't sell or charge for anything. We don't claim to be experts either. We just kind of give away free trading content. I try to make a free resource and community. The market's kind of bouncing back a little bit, guys. Look at it, bouncing back up to 399.80s in the SPY here. So the market's rebounding a little bit from this big drop here. Look at Tesla back up there. We are back over VWAP now. Initial jobless claims. Yes, weird. Look at us. We're almost to 400. We just broke over 400 on the SPY. Kind of crazy. You know, over 400 right now. Bulls like weak GDP means Fed will not be encouraged to be hawkish. Yeah, I guess so. All right, we're up to 400.3s, guys. 400.3s on the SPY. Just broke over 400.4s, tapped 400.5s on the SPY. Starting to reel back up. Tesla about to break highs of the day, or at least getting pretty close to it there. Meta rebounding some as well. Yeah, lately, especially negative news, we rip up. Market just broke over the 400.5 level, guys. Market over 400.5s. We have the previous closing price right around 401.04s here for the SPY. So we are at 400.5s. Tesla just broke highs of the day. I think that's highs. Yeah, Tesla just broke highs of the day here. Meta's starting to get back over VWAP also. All right, crypto bouncing back too. Crypto's just kind of following the broader market at this point in time, especially like Meta, I think. But yeah, look at the SPY up to 400.5s. Tesla broke highs, rebound or quickly came back down some, but Tesla recently broke highs as well. We got Meta up there at 160s. What's up, Joel? Yeah. Green or red today, guys? Y'all think the market will end green or red today? Let me know. All right, SPY dipping down to 400s. All right, guys, so market pulling down. Here's the $400 level. $400 level seems relevant right now. We're pulling back to it now. So we'll see if we bounce here. Should I buy this dip? We're gonna buy 10 shares of this. Now we'll take 20. All right, so we just bought the SPY directly. We'll see how it reacts here. 400 seems like a reasonable level to pay attention to. I don't know if I'm crazy for buying this dip, but we're gonna try. Maybe we'll add some more to this too. Maybe we'll see if we pull back. We'll add some more to it. We'll add some more. We're in 30 shares. Fair enough. See if we can ride up a move here. See if we can break previous close. Meta dipping down a VWAP here. Might be a kind of a crazy dip buy for me, but hey, we're just kind of poking around right now with 30 shares of the SPY. Very small position. The GDP numbers are right here. We posted a 0.9% loss in GDP versus a 0.5% gain expected prior of 1.6% loss. Continuing jobless claims came in at 1.359 million versus 1.38 million expected. So higher than expected, or lower than expected continuing claims, which is good. Initial jobless claims came in at 256K versus 253K expected. So higher than expected initial claims, better than expected continuing claims, and worse than expected GDP growth, minus 0.9% to be exact, versus a 0.5% gain expected. Yeah, we're not going to hold this for very long. I'm not going to toy around with the market right now. We'll take a little baby loss and maybe add back to it. But neutral reaction so far, which I think is good. Yeah, I see some people criticizing my dip buy. Again, I'm just kind of poking around with small size right now. We bought 30 shares. We lost $7. Really, we've had kind of a neutral reaction to it. I'm mostly trading at the opening bell, and so I'll just kind of horse around in pre-market and not take any huge size. And if we can have some fun in pre-market, that's fine. But we kind of take it a little bit more seriously after the opening bell, really. TBLT. Yeah, TBLT is a legitimate short squeeze too. Here's TBLT. Wow, man. Look at TBLT run. This is a legit short squeeze. It's up to 530s right now for TBLT. 530s. Today might be green, but tomorrow's going to be red. You just flexing on us? Hey, yeah, man, with my 30 shares of the SPY. Yeah, 30 shares of the SPY. It's 12K. So, I mean, hey, we could throw it around, but it's nothing really in terms of gains. TBLT up there to 540s. What is that noise? All right, guys, TBLT flying up. I think this is a short squeeze, so I don't know what the catalyst is here, but I'm assuming it's a short squeeze. Let me see. Okay, so Tough Build did have a catalyst, so it is catalyst driven. They launched 35 products and 5,500 Ace Hardware locations. Is the catalyst for TBLT. Here's the catalyst for TBLT running. But again, here is the GDP data. So we're back over 400. We're sideways. We're going to wait to trade. You need to flex with 30 shares of SPX. Ooh, man, I don't know if I can buy that. I mean, I could probably, let me see. Depends on what, depends on what the S&P 500 is. Let me see. Ooh, I don't think I could buy that, bro. No, I could buy that. I could buy 20 shares of the S&P 500. Don't believe me, just watch. No, I'm just joking. I'm not doing that right now. I don't even think I can buy the S&P right now in pre-market. But no, here's TBLT ribbon. It's at 530s. Big move. It's minus 0.9% ride. And so, yeah, the gross domestic product for the second quarter came in at minus 0.9% versus a 0.5% gain in GDP was expected, prior of minus 1.6%. So we did better than last time, but we still posted a losing GDP growth. And worse than expected for sure when they expected a gain, and we came in negative at minus 0.9%. Continuing jobless claims came in a little bit lower than expected, which is good, for continuing jobless claims. But initial jobless claims came in at higher than expected. All right, guys, market back up to 400s. Maybe I should have stayed in my little 30 share position. Tesla bouncing up at 830s. So Tesla up over to 834s right now. TBLT is just ramping up, though, man. This is a big move. They did have a catalyst. I'm not even going to try to define what that is right now. Recession. I'm not even going to try to define that, to be honest. It varies too much. The definition of that varies too much right now for me personally. So we're not even going to try to do that. But yeah, minus 0.9%. Yeah, we're still at BTTX small. What's crypto doing? I think crypto down to 22.86. Yeah, so crypto bouncing back up short term, but dropped a little bit over the last 30 minutes or so. Look at the market pump up here, guys. I should have held that position, man. I should have held it. It's up to 400.5s. Big Wimpy John getting whipped out of it. Up to 400.6. No, I mean, that's the reason I'm not trying to define it. I don't feel like arguing with people. I don't really, technically we are, I think, but, I don't feel like arguing about political stuff. It's too political for me to even try to do that right now, Oh, I'm Big Papa Paper Hands, bro. They used to call me BPP. I'm Big Papa Paper Hands. I'm like Biggie, but the stock trader, That's a little bitty. Yeah, the GDP number is minus 0.9%, guys. 0.5% expected, prior of minus 1.6%. SPY rip it up, though, guys. SPY up to 400.7s here. Approaching the previous closing price here. SPY up to 400.8s. Are we going to break over the previous closing price and actually go green on worse than expected GDP growth? Up to 401 almost, 400.9s here. Are we going to go green today, guys? SPY's getting there. How's Meta reacting to all this here? Here's Meta. Meta's back over VWAP too. Are we going to go green? Yeah, that's what I said. Technically, we are, Anthony, or at least, but technically, we posted 2 consecutive negative growth in GDP. And so by the technical definition, we are, but I'm not trying to get into the nuance behind it. I don't really want to argue about, political stuff. So I just try to avoid political stuff. It's too divisive. Yeah, that might be why. So Anthony said, I think the reality is most people thought it'd be over 1% GDP loss. And instead, we only posted minus 0.9%. So, maybe that's causing some expectations to be higher and the market's ripping up. Again, will the SPY go green today? It looks like it's getting pretty close. Why is you so bullish, like hope for market? I want the market to go up. I'm cautiously optimistic in this market. You know what I mean? I don't want the market to go down. The realist in me thinks the market might drop more, but the optimist is saying, I hope it goes up. Market just went green on the day, guys. SPY just tapped over 401, up to 401.30s now, 401.30s. Meta up, Tesla up. But yeah, SPY just went green on the day, guys. Green on the day now. Yeah, maybe the recession's already priced in. All right, guys, so we're up to 401.2s here, 401.2s. All right, guys, market up to 401.30s here. Tesla at 837.40s as well. Tesla at 837.40s. I guess the real question here, guys, so we did this poll. What stock do you like most pre-earnings? Apple, Amazon. 36% are saying Apple, 26% saying Amazon, 38% are saying neither here. We're going to end this poll, guys. We're going to end this poll. Oh, what the heck? Why is this? How do I end this poll? I don't even know. Okay, there we go. We're going to end the poll right now. We're going to do another poll here. And the question is, does the market end green this week? Yes or no? Does the market end green this week? Let me know, guys. We're at 401.40s for the SPY. Apple is about to be green. Yeah, Apple has done pretty well relative to other stocks, especially if you look at Amazon. Amazon's a little bit more extended on the downside than Apple. Amazon actually had a losing year as opposed to Apple, which actually, mostly break even, but slight green year for Apple. Market up to 401.50s, about to break highs again. The market just broke highs again at 401.52s right now. And when I say highs, I mean pre-market highs. We're at 401.54s. Tesla just broke highs as well, or at least is getting pretty close to it as I say this. Again, SPY at 401.55s. Again, we got about 50 votes in the last 30 seconds. 42% think yes, 55% think no. Market breaking highs again, back up to 401.60s here. And Tesla just recently ripped up, about to hit 839s right now on the Tesla chart. Meta pushing back up as well. It's at 162.50s. And then Bitcoin even recently resurged back up. So look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin now over 23,000, over 23K for Bitcoin. So that's good. SPY up to 401.60s. And Tesla just tapped 839s here. So the market's reeling back. Rebounding nicely, man. So bullish day in the market, surprisingly enough. Bitcoin up to 23.2 now. Bitcoin ripping up. Tesla ripping up. SPY ripping up. And so, yeah, bull or bear right now, guys. Kind of crazy. All right, guys. So SPY up. We got Bitcoin up. We got Tesla up as well. So buy dip, everyone, please. I was going to buy this dip. I ended up getting stopped out of it, but it looked like it would have worked. Unfortunately, I usually I'm a little bit wimpy in pre-market. I'm not really a pre-market trader. I think pre-market's hard to find an edge in. But market ripped up, so I should have held that dip buy. Just like yesterday, bad news means moon. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, SPY play looked good, man. I should have held it. Again, the reason I bought the dip was because it's pulling back to 400, which is a big psychological level. Whole dollars, technically speaking, are really big influential levels, especially like $100 levels like 400, 300, 200, even half dollars like 250, 350 are pretty relevant psychological levels. So should we hope for good or bad Apple earnings? It depends on whether you're holding Apple or not. I don't ever really hope for bad earnings on anything. But I guess what you're saying is, considering the fact that a lot of stocks have posted bad numbers and moved up, including the GDP results, posted worse than expected numbers and then still moved up. But especially when you consider all the other earnings that we've had throughout this last week, a lot of them have posted misses on both metrics, but have performed well during their earnings release. And so I guess what you're probably asking is, do we hope that Apple or Amazon have bad earnings and go up from it? SPY testing the previous closing price now. So SPY is testing that previous closing price right around 401. Hey, what's up, Euro? I more recently started taking a position to hold through the bell open because a lot of days it would just chop after that. Yeah, well, the last 2 weeks have been incredibly sideways for day trading. Day trading has just it's not ideal for day trading, and it's one of those times where you got to kind of stop trading as much. It's not always going to be universally good for day trading in the markets, and so you just got to wait for favorable times. And the last 2 weeks, again, to understand the logic on why the market has been choppy the last few weeks in terms of day trading trends, is because leading into these big earnings releases, day traders take less size because it's more indecisive. It's more
Traders are more apprehensive to take larger sizing moving into these big data release weeks with big earnings and big, GDP, CPI data, earnings, FOMC rate hike announcements. And so traders are more apprehensive and they're more hesitant and less likely to take big sizing. And so when that happens, people just kind of wait for those decisions and the market ends up staying choppy and sideways because of that. Bitcoin up to 23.1s. Tesla getting closer to the highs of the day again. Let's look at Meta. Meta got rejected at 163s here, so Meta's got a big resistance right around 163 or slightly over it. But yeah, we got about 40 minutes, guys. 40 minutes until the opening bell. SPY back up to 40140s. There's Meta. Here's Apple. Apple up to 157. So Apple following the market pretty closely here. Maybe the market's following Apple, I should say. Amazon, the same thing, up to 121s. Man, look at Tesla just broke highs here, guys. Tesla just broke highs. Up to 840, guys. Tesla just tapped 840s. Yeah, TBLT short squeeze, man. Tesla ripping highs, though, at 560s. For TBLT. TBLT did have a catalyst, though. So this is catalyst driven for TBLT, but it is a highly, highly shorted stock. But yeah, I appreciate everybody joining me here today. Again, what we do here at Beginner Trading is offer free trading content. And so, when we have these big streams, if you could hit that subscribe button, we certainly appreciate it. We cover all the major market news and events. We cover all the big earnings. We day trade, a decent sized account every weekday morning at the opening bell. And yeah, hit the subscribe button. Everything we do here is free, so we don't charge for content or anything really. Yeah. I mean, I think some people could probably have an edge in pre-market. I'm just not one of those people, to be honest. Some people might find an edge. I think swing trading, you can take advantage of extension in pre-market, nicely. But when it comes to day trading, I think day trading is incredibly hard to do in pre-market. There's too many big moves and reactions, low liquidity, big reactions and moves. Are we officially in a recession right now? It depends on your definition. Most people's definition are when we have 2 consecutive negative GDP growths, and so far we have that now. Thoughts on Meta? Meta's actually not feeling this bump up as much as some other stuff. Meta's been mostly sideways since the announcement. It's slightly green. It is up some. It's at 162.50s. But again, Meta, as opposed to a lot of other ones, is just not having the big reaction to this as some other sectors and stocks. Meta's still down to 162s. Bitcoin is doing really well, though. Hey, what's up, Joel? What's up, View? Made money on crypto shorts and longs this morning. Nice, Justin. Congrats, man. Good job, dude. Yeah, Tesla looking really strong today. Meta dipping down some here, so we are getting some sideways consolidation. I can't help but see the double top right around 106 or 40160s here, and I can see this kind of rectangular range. And we're right above the previous closing price right here at 4104s. And so that's a relevant level to watch for the SPY to see if it holds some of these gains. Tesla at 839s. And then we do have Meta at 160s here, guys. Meta's at 160s. Keep in mind when the Fed began hiking, they wanted demand destruction, and we don't like it. But for them, yeah, I mean, it caused short-term pain in that regard, Aaron. When they raise rates aggressively like that, it's going to cause short-term pain in pricing. But that's the point, is because the point is to discourage inflation, right? And so when people stop spending in order to remain competitive, people have to lower prices. Businesses specifically have to lower prices, and in turn, that consequently lowers inflation, which is the whole point of it. And so the more aggressive rate hikes we get, the more short-term pain, but the more long-term combating of inflation. Tesla popping up a little bit. SPY is battling that previous closing price right around 401, and Meta's at 162s. Yeah, I'm not really a super political guy, but you know, lately that word has been political, and so I'm just kind of straying away from it as much as I can, to be honest. Meta popping back up a little bit over VWAP. SPY just went red on the day, so the SPY is now technically red again on the day. That 401 level was right around that previous closing price, so technically the SPY is red right now. Bitcoin pulling back to 23K. All right, guys. SPY dipping down to 400.7s here, 400.7s. Tesla up to 839s again. So big movement. Again, we're watching that. Should be a fun day. Let's see if Bitcoin holds over 23K. And it's going to tank today. They lost money. Yeah, I don't know. Meta is kind of sideways here. The question is Meta extended from the dip? This the next quarter will probably be a loss. My personal advice. Yeah, we'll see. We're all noobs, sometimes legendary. Yeah, TPLT, guys. Another one that dropped a catalyst is kind of squeezing up. This one has an incredibly large short float as well. So if you're watching pennies, TPLT is flying up. Tesla's up big. We got the SPY here. Again, a lot of people watching Meta, and we're going to see what kind of reaction we get in terms of cryptocurrencies as well. Here's Amazon. Amazon is mostly following the broader market with Apple as well. Q, which is a little bit more tech heavy, is dipping down some also. So we got the Q dipping down, SPY still pulling back some. The big level is 400, so we want to see if we hold at 400. We also have this previous high of the day short term on the SPY at about 400.6. Maybe it's 400.5, $0.50 right here. Yeah, I guess that's probably a big spot level too. Okay. Time to ban some people. Not here. Discord, we got some fake members in our Discord, so it's time to ban them. All right, guys. So market dipping down. We're testing that 400.5 level now that we talked about. So yeah, market's testing that 400.5 level we talked about. All right, guys. So yeah, market pulled back to that 400.5 level we talked about. We'll see how accurate we are with our bounce area too. All right, guys. So yeah, the SPY's down to 400.5s again. If you're just now joining us, Meta earnings were yesterday. So Meta earnings were yesterday. They already reported their numbers. Meta posted. We could show you what they showed. Yeah. So Meta dropped second quarter EPS of $2.46 per share. Missed the 261 estimate. Sales of 28.82 billion. Missed the 28.97 billion estimate. So a decent miss in terms of second quarter EPS or profitability for Meta yesterday in the earnings call. They posted 246 profit per share. They expected 261, so lower than expected in terms of profitability there. Sales was a slight miss for Meta. They posted 28.82 billion. They had an estimate of 28.97 billion estimates. So only a slight miss in terms of sales, but they also missed on EPS. So Meta posted worse than expected numbers. Again, I mean, listen, guys, we talked about that 400.5 level before we actually bounced here, guys. Do you guys remember that? And yeah, look at exactly where we bounced here. So, technicals are important, and you can find some of these levels if you have good charting. And so again, we had a short-term bounce. I'm not saying it's going to hold over this level either, but we did bounce about 20-30 cents from that level right after we drew it. Yep. MasterCard earnings I think are already out today, but yeah, Apple and Amazon are later. Here's GOVX. Here's GOVX is ripping up some short squeezes potentially here. There's Meta still sitting at 162. TBLT is the big short squeeze potential play that's moving up right now. We're also holding BTTX, but it looks like we're going to be down on this one, unfortunately. And we're just going to cut it. We're not going to sit in this one. There's the Q. Q's at 305s here. Still watching Meta. Didn't FaZe rip up the other day? Where did they IPO at? Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Regarding FaZe as a company, my question long term about FaZe as a company is like the video game industry can be very trendy. So like basically trends can change quickly. Like I'm skeptical of holding long term in fashion. I'm skeptical of holding long term in video game companies because trends can change. You can have the best team ever on one specific game, but then the next year nobody plays it. You know what I mean? And so with that, I'm hesitant to hold those long term. I think they might be vulnerable long term to trend changes in those markets. SPY still up there, almost to 400.8 here. Bounced really nicely off that 400.5 level we talked about. Tesla starting to move back up. And then again, we got Twitter, which is still sitting under 40. Meta here is at 161.80s. And again, let me know, do y'all like FaZe as a company? FAZE as a stock, I guess we should say. I like FaZe as a company, but I don't know if a public structure is the best move for them. Bitcoin now back under 23K. FaZe isn't a scam. It's the biggest video game, it's the biggest video game team. It's the biggest gaming team in the world, is FaZe. If you don't know about FaZe, they started with COD, but they moved on to a lot of other facets of video games. And so, FaZe Banks and all of them over there are big in the video game industry for sure. Again, the problem for me personally is vulnerabilities long term in that type of business, because trends change with video games. And so, like I said, they might have the greatest team ever, but then the next year nobody plays it, i.e. Fortnite, I did see Comcast had earnings. Hey, what's up, Rick? Meta earnings are out already. Faisal. Meta earnings are out, brother. So they're out already, dude. All right, Meta now below VWAP again. We're bouncing again at that 400.5 level we talked about. I did see Comcast had their earnings though, Chris. Good, man. Honestly, Comcast is the worst company in the world. It's Comcast is genuinely the company I dislike the most out of every company in the world right now. SPY up to 400.8. So, man, listen. Technicals are important, guys. We called that 400.5 level, and we are bouncing multiple times there, acting as a big support level. And again, the reason we knew this is because, yeah, it impacted the markets for sure. Apple earnings are out at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But yeah, so the reason we were able to kind of identify this level is simple. Half and whole dollars combined with a range around previous confirmations. So we have this range right here that we can watch for a bounce at. And, we got the VWAP underneath this, so kind of double the support there. All of those things kind of line up to equal a nice support level that you can play off of for the SPY. And there's the bounce up to 400.9s here. Tesla moving up to 838s. Meta back over VWAP too, but kind of choppy back and forth for Meta over the last hour or so. But yeah, Meta definitely impacted the markets. And again, here is the Meta numbers if you really want them. Yeah. Where am I? No, you're on Beginner Trading's live stream talking about the GDP domestic growth numbers. And, we put in a worse than expected amount at minus 0.9%. They expected a gain in GDP of 0.5%. That would signal we're in a recession as well. And they also posted mixed results in terms of jobless claims numbers. I think initial jobless claims were worse than expected. Continuing claims were better than expected. So mixed results in jobless claims and worse GDP growth than ultimately expected there. Minus 0.9% to be exact. What happens if both crush earnings? Well, the market will almost certainly rip up from that. Now, it's not an exact science. I mean, obviously, lately we've had stocks post bad numbers and then still rip up. So, I mean, it's not an exact science, but lately it's been kind of a weird market in terms of earnings. I think there's been a lot of extension on the downside over the last few months. And so with that, even though some of these companies are posting misses or mixed earnings, we're still getting some bullish action just because of the extension. People think that stocks react to the earnings. A lot of it's already baked in pre-earnings. It's kind of buy the rumor, sell the news. And so leading up into the, leading up into big earnings releases, traders are trading what they think is going to happen before the earnings are actually released, right? And so it's already priced in to a certain extent once the earnings actually drop. And I think that's one of the reasons we've seen some bullish responses to bad earnings, at least lately. There's also guidance that's playing a factor here. Like, I know Google dropped earnings, and even though they were mixed results, they missed on one front. I think they missed on sales, but beat on EPS. Their advertising revenue and guidance was okay. And so that made Google rip up, and that influenced the market as well. But yeah, earnings are big earnings this week as well. Again, we got Apple today. We have Amazon today at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or after 4 p.m., I should say, is when the earnings drop. And then the earnings call, I believe, is at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for those. And we're going to stream it here on this channel as well. So hit that sub button if you haven't. What don't you like about Comcast? I've used Comcast a lot before. I disagree with their business model. I don't like them as a company as a whole, like morally. I think they rip consumers off because the customer service reps have a commission-based structure. they're very misleading, and there's kind of a conflict of interest there to where they'll tell you, yeah, your bill's going to be 150, and then you get your bill the next month and it's $300. And because that customer service reps earn a commission, they have a direct interest in being dishonest to you. And that happens a lot with both DirecTV and Comcast, but also in terms of like outlook and future growth. I think that people are going to trend away from getting locked into a contract for both internet services as well as cable. You could look at like Sling TV or YouTube TV or Hulu or Fubo, and people are not going to pay for cable TV like that anymore. They're definitely not going to pay hundreds of dollars, I think. And so that makes Comcast vulnerable long term, as well as again, internet service providers as well. I recently upgraded to fiber. It's $90 a month. It's no contract, and it gives me 1,000 up and 1,000 down. And so I think that's going to cause people to not get locked into sleazy contracts with these companies. And I think that's bad for Comcast long term. Hopefully it is. SPY, rip it up. SPY is technically green on the day now. So the SPY is over the previous closing price at 401.10. At 401.10, we are now over that. And let's see if we hold green on the day. But the SPY is technically green on the day. The previous closing price was right around 401. If you had 200K, where will you invest it? If you're talking about genuine investing, Disney, Apple, Amazon, those are the most locked, sure things, in my opinion, long term. I think Apple will be fine, Disney will be fine, Amazon will be fine long term. And so regardless of short-term fluctuations from the economy and fundamental data numbers, I think those are going to be fine long term, just considering the amount of assets that they have. Disney owns everything in media, from ESPN to Marvel, Star Wars. Well, it's a subjective answer. I mean, people have different preferences in terms of what they're willing to hold long term. Tesla, rip it up here, is at 841.10s, 841.10, SPY back up to 401.21s. And guys, I'm not going to say I called this, but I definitely called that 400.5 level. If you were on the stream before it actually bounced here, we said, hey, 400.5 might be a support level. And look at that bounce directly off of it. You'll love to see it. Yeah, I mean, Tariq, you should never get super emotional about any specific company, man. It's all about, I could disagree or dislike a specific company, but if we can't, let's not be delusional about it. I mean, Apple is a money-making machine. Disney is a money-making machine. Amazon is a money-making machine. And so in terms of vulnerabilities long-term, I think they have the least amount, and I think they're going to be fine long-term, but it is, again, subjective. Are you surprised GDP did not reduce the stock market? I think a lot of people thought we were going to lose 1% or greater. And so with that, I guess we're getting a positive reaction from it. I think most people expected minus, GDP growth, though. And so, and again, I think it boils down to extension. I think we're so down over the last 6 months that, even though we're getting some of these bad numbers reporting, people are seeing some silver linings in it, and stock market's going up. But again, I'm just kind of watching it. I really don't know. Yeah, for sure. We're going to trade the market open, Moise. We're going to cover it. We're going to trade the open as it happens in 15 minutes. Again, we got a decent sized account, not huge, but it's about 30K that we're going to trade live at the open. PGY. Yeah, PGY is starting to rip up, and this is another one of the short squeezes we've had over the last few days. Other one was TBLT, ripping up today. It's at 560s. GOVX is kind of popping up some too. Tesla got a double top now at 841s. SPY is pulling back to test that previous closing price, so that might be relevant. Where's Meta at now? Meta's been very, very sideways today. Amazon at 121s. Yeah, the GDP was minus 0.9%. Yeah, Tyler, we had about 900 here earlier. And for these big data releases, it's kind of what we get. For the CPI, we had like thousands here. For the Amazon earnings last time, we had thousands too. So, we get some pretty big numbers doing these fundamental releases. And we appreciate you all here, guys. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification bell. Again, everything we drop is free. We don't charge for anything. My philosophy here is just to give away free trading content without charging people for any of it. And so if you appreciate movements like that, when we're not trying to sell you a course, we're putting everything out there for free. And we have courses published already on YouTube for free. Hit the subscribe button, guys. Hit the notification bell. SPY bounced directly off of that previous close and ripped all the way up to 401.3s now. Amazon is now over the previous closing price as well. Meta's kind of the lagger here with all this stuff. I guess with bad earnings yesterday, it's dropping. Apple is now at 157. So Apple's looking strong too. Yeah, I was raised on TV too, man. I used to wake up every Saturday morning and watch Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon. If the SPY keeps going for a day or two, I'll be able to retire. Good luck, man. I hope so, brother. Should I leave Excella or are you shorting it? It should. I don't know about Excella. I don't know. I don't really short penny stocks like that. Too hard to locate, too expensive to locate, and too much risk, I think, considering the parabolic nature of some of them, especially when you consider stuff like TBLT or PGY that are all just kind of going crazy today. I'd rather just not short them. There's too much risk involved with that. Yeah, AMC is probably, I would assume AMC would go up when the market rip it up, but I guess the market's kind of sideways and break even right now. And so, yeah, I mean, Apple is up to 156.90s, testing 170s. But yeah, Meta. All right, guys, we got 13 minutes. 13 minutes. Well, it's better than Comcast, man. Comcast was charging me 200. Yeah, Tesla at 838s, 839s. All right, guys, we're up to 162.20s here, 162.20s. Yeah, man. You should have seen it, man. Last year during the whole AMC debacle, Comcast was just messing up. And so I upgraded the Comcast business, which was $400 a month. And it wasn't any better. It was literally the same service. Meta, pop it up, guys. Look at Meta. It's at 162.70s, 162.80s. Yeah, I mean, people would think I hate Comcast unreasonably, but I'm pretty reasoned behind my dislike for Comcast. Meta at 163s. Yeah, I never watched the Zelda cartoons. I used to play Zelda. We had two pet ferrets, and their names were Ganon and Link, and then we had Zelda, which was the baby girl. Up to 162.85s. Do you think AMC is going to go to $1,000 a share? No, almost certainly not. You know, for AMC to go up to $1,000 a share, it would have to do a aggressive reverse split of some sort. You know, aside from that, what's the float of AMC? It's like what, like 500 million? Right. So if you got 500 million shares and each share is worth $1,000, let's see what the math on that is. You got 500 million shares. Each share is worth $1,000. That would make 500 billion market cap for AMC. If y'all think AMC is going to be larger than Tesla or going to be larger than, you know, a lot of these companies, these big name brand companies, you know, you're wrong. It's just not. You know, I think a lot of people are stuck in AMC because of the big moves they made last year, and now they're just desperate to justify purchasing it. I think AMC's cheap where it's at now, but it's not going to hit a K. SPY testing highs here at 40150s. 40150s. We got the bill fixed. We got it fixed. Meta just broke over that 163 level. We'll see if it actually holds now. Again, we got about 10 minutes. It can for a few days. No, there's a difference. GameStop is different. Volkswagen is different as well. GameStop had a 40 million float, so literally 10 times smaller float, which means 10 times more volatility for GameStop. AMC has too large of a float, too small of a short float to make a parabolic squeeze like that. You know what I mean? And that's just the truth of it. The fundamental numbers are not set up for a huge parabolic short squeeze like people are claiming. And you know, they kind of try to justify it with saying, oh well, it's got naked shares and synthetic shorts. But every stock has naked shares and synthetic shorts, but there's no provable way to check it, right? So a lot of the times it's kind of like Scooby-Doo, where it's like it would have gone up if it wasn't for those pesky short sellers. They're just justifying being wrong, in my opinion, a lot of the time. But again, you know, it is what it is. I might be wrong. I don't know. Maybe it does, but I don't think so. All right, guys. Market's testing highs. SPY up there to 40150s. Yeah, maybe. Like I said, maybe I'm wrong, Mr. Yan, maybe. But again, I bet people at the time of AMC that if AMC broke 100, I'd get an AMC tattoo. And you can, I really did this. And I told him if it hit 100 last year, I would get an AMC tattoo. And it came close, but no cigar. And so no AMC tattoo for me. But yeah, that's how confident I was that AMC didn't have the fundamental numbers to back up the short squeeze that people were predicting. All right, guys. All right, guys. 8 minutes, guys. 8 minutes. Bullish or bearish? Let's look at the poll here. So far, we got about 327 votes. Does the market end green this week? 52% are saying no. 48% are saying yes. So let's see what we get, guys. Good luck today. Good luck. And again, I'm not knocking you. I think AMC is cheap where it's at now, but I don't think it's some crazy short squeeze play. I think the following of AMC is the value that AMC stock has, right? So I think if AMC is at 14, 15 bucks, I think that's relatively cheap considering the size of that following and the support that they're going to give to that stock, right? But the short float is not high enough and the float is too large for a conventional like big short squeeze like GameStop. You know, GameStop had 120% short float and a 40 million float. And so literally 10 times smaller float and, you know, way higher short float than AMC does. All right, guys. Tesla testing highs is at 841s. SPY is at 40150s, 40140s. Where would you have gotten the tat? Probably like my foot or something. Somewhere I could hide it if I needed to. Yeah, Meta's testing up, but that 163 level has been a solid resistance area for this one. Tesla as well at 841 resistance, and the SPY itself keeps coming up there and tapping like 40165. Tesla just broke highs of the day at 841.35s right now. Yeah, Carol would have been mad, man. All right, guys. Good luck today, team. All right, guys. Yeah, Tesla tapped up there, 841s right now. Market breaking highs again at 40160s here, right around the opening bell. We got about 5 or 6 minutes left. Meta up to 162s. So Meta's moving. Now it's pulling all the way back to VWAP. Again, that 163 range here, it's not really exactly at 163. It's kind of 163.25. This range right here has acted as a major resistance level for Facebook or Meta. Every time it comes up to that level, we're kind of rejecting here. And we do have this range right now. And VWAP's right around 162 for Meta. Tesla trying to push up. It's at 841s. SPY consolidating, but yeah, we got about 5 minutes, guys. Bitcoin's still over 23K, so that's good. Yeah, man. Yeah, I saw my wife Carol get a tattoo right on her abdomen, man. That hurts. I've never got one on my abs. I got some on my arms, you know, I got some here, and like I got a couple, but never on my abs, never on my foot. I've heard it hurts really bad. Carol got one on her side of her stomach, and that thing looked like it hurt really bad. It's a big one too, so it took like hours and hours. Yeah, TBLT short squeeze in play today, man. TBLT flying up at 575s right now. Again, I told people this the last few days. This is one of the most legitimate short squeezes. Huge short float, kind of i.e. GameStop. I'm not saying this is going to get to GameStop levels, but again, if you look at the actual short float behind TBLT right now, if you look at the actual short float, it's large. It is currently about 130 to 200% short float, just a ridiculously large short float. And so when you get, again, that's the type of short float where you're going to get a big parabolic squeeze, i.e. GameStop. And again, I'm not saying that that's going to happen. I have no idea. TBLT might just crash, but I've been saying this for like a week now, and TBLT's been pumping up with that. So small float, high short float stock is kind of the recipe for crazy short squeezes. And again, it's not to knock on AMC, but it's also one of the reasons that AMC is not really that. The short float's too small, and the float itself, there's too much dilution with AMC already. But TBLT is up there. It's up there. Rejecting a little bit at these highs pre-bell. We got 3 minutes. Meta at 162s. Yeah, for sure, Rick. We appreciate you, brother. I see it, McTavius. Yeah, GDP numbers were negative. So GDP came in at minus 0.9% versus, I think, it varied from the different sources that I saw in terms of what the expectations were. But minus 0.9% is what the second quarter GDP growth was. 0.5% expected. Minus 1.6% is what they did last time. And so we are better than last time, but we're still, minus, which, depending on your definition, would indicate a recession. Meta just broke under that low of the range that we drew here. Bouncing up a little bit, but look at Meta. We got less than 2 minutes before the opening bell, too, guys. It's not last month. It's last quarter is what I meant to say. It's 1.6% loss last quarter. SPY just broke over highs, though, guys. SPY got up to 40180s. Yeah, so SPY just broke highs at 40180s. We can look at Aapl here. Apple's probably following it up. The high of the last few days for Aapl was right around 157 here. I'm not going to clarify. Depending on some definitions say we are, some don't. Yeah, Microsoft is probably just following the rest of the market, which is moving up on the GDP data for whatever reason. Again, y'all just be very careful. The market has been incredibly sideways and choppy over the last few weeks. Again, leading up into these big data releases as well as the big earnings, a lot of people are more apprehensive regarding trading and volume. And so, we might get some sideways action as we have been. And I'm going to be very careful on what I trade today just because of the historical action we've had this week, last week, and the week before. So just be careful, guys. All right, guys, market just tapped over 402s here. Market's about to open right now, guys, so good luck today. Bitcoin over 23K now, which is great. All right, guys, there's the opening bell. We're at 401.80s for the SPY. We're at the opening bell. We got Aapl up here at 157s, so a big downwick for Aapl. Tesla pulling back some at the opening bell down to 838s. Getting a little bit of choppy action, so we're going to let some trends play out first before we take any type of aggressive directional trade. All right, guys, so kind of a choppy market right now. We're at 157s on Aapl. Tesla consolidating around 180s. Just broke highs for the SPY. 402s right now, 402.20. So the SPY's ripping up here, guys. So is Tesla breaking highs. Just look at Tesla bump all the way up to 844s. Aapl ripping up as well. Look at everything run here, guys. So we're getting some big movement now. Look at the SPY all the way up to 402.50s here. Big green candles in the market, guys. Big green candle action. Huge rips, guys. Huge rips. SPY up to 402.80s here. 402.80s. Huge pumps on everything, guys. Big moves. 157s for Apple. 157.50s. Tesla is now up to 847s. SPY up to 402.60s here. So just big green action. We're a little too extended on the upside for me to be able to make any purchases now. And, maybe I'll miss out on some gains. But we're going to wait and give at least a few minutes and let things settle before we actually trade. Hey, what's up, Mo? Hope you're doing well, brother. TBLT. Yeah, TBLT, big short squeeze potential there. Up to 618s. 620s now. A little bit of a dip in the SPY and Tesla, but we'll see if it reacts to it. All right, guys, market's still kind of consolidating after a big ramp up in the first few minutes of the market open. We are at 848s on Tesla, breaking highs again. We're at 848.30s, 848.40s. TBLT breaking highs again, or at least getting close. There's 630s right now. Yeah, AMC's probably ripping with the overall market. It's been following it to a certain extent. Hood is up there too. Hood's at 905s. Again, giving the market some time here. We're giving the market some time. I don't see any favorable action that I want to attack yet. We're only 3 minutes in. And so I'm going to let things play out a little bit. Again, last few weeks have just been incredibly choppy for my trading. So we're just going to chill and just wait and let a trend play out and then attack that trend once we get one. Maybe if we get, like I said, we get a green to red move, we'll take that position too. If it sets up well enough. So we don't mind green to red moves. TBLT still pumping up. There's Tesla at 840s. At 909s for Robinhood here. Again, SPY finally dipping down some here. Tesla choppy on the day now, sideways. Not, I say this, but really what I'm saying is we are sideways since the opening bell for Tesla. TBLT ripping up to 660s here, so TBLT is pumping up here. Wow. Apple was kind of sideways, slowly starting to go down now too. All right, so we are actually shorting a little bit of Apple here. We got 50 shares of Apple right now, and we'll add another position here to it. All right, that's the max we're going to add. We're in 75 shares of Apple. All right, so we just covered a bit, 25 shares left. Taking a small position, letting things play out a little bit in the volatile open here. See if we can break lows. I might have cut it a little bit too early, but that's okay. Break even right now. Going to add to that. We're back in with 50 shares now of Apple. I think it depends on what the market does here, to be honest, but we're getting some sideways activity. Complete neutral trade at this point. Let's give Apple some time. It's kind of following the market too, so like I'm not going to take any big sizes here. We're about break even now. Tesla broke high, so we actually might just wait on the rest of this. There we go. That's better. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and cut that. Got a little gain on Apple there. Just a little baby trade. Just trying to get into the swing of things. PTPI is not really doing much, man. It was an acquisition, it looks like. And so it's mostly going to be sideways rangey since the opening bell. All right, so Tesla's starting to rip back up. Apple actually red on the day here. Yeah, with acquisitions, a lot of the time you'll see a big move up to the acquisition price and then just sideways neutral action after that. Tesla, SPY both moving up some. VWAP's a little bit extended on the SPY for me to want to get into those dip buys here. Nice. My snap trade that we're still holding is doing okay. Mostly break even on the day. We'll see Apple, but with the market pumping up, I'm not really trying to take any sizable positions here quite yet. All right, so Apple's popping back up some, but again, I'm gonna withhold shorting it until we get some better action there. I think TBLT with a big pullback here, GOVX sideways, AMC ripped up nicely though today. TBLT coming all the way back down though. What about PGY was another one? It didn't really do much at the opening bell either. Again, we'll go back to Apple, and I'll short this if it looks better. But again, I think we gotta kind of wait. We'll take 25 shares short right here at the top of the range and see if we get flush back down or something. But small little trade. Again, we're going to kind of let the trend play out before we take any big size. Just kind of scalping it and letting it play out. We're at the top of this range. We break that, we'll cut it. All right, we're in 50 shares now. We'll add to that position. We'll cover the first piece of it, and then we'll get out the rest there. All right, so just attack the range on Apple. Small little gains. We are green on the day now. Snap is ripping up nicely here. Market's kind of corrected back out. Tesla and the SPY are kind of sideways. Apple's okay, though. There's the low break. Red box. Redbox is up some. It's moving a little bit. Apple broke lows. I guess I could have held that short position, but we'll wait now. Tesla 845. So market rolling over a little bit now. All right, Apple diving down here. TBLT turning over. Redbox turning over as well. Market's starting to turn here. Tesla is still at 844s for Tesla. Starting to roll over here, though. Here's the SPY at 402s. Watch 401.50. Right around VWAP here for the SPY. GOVX. Yeah, GOVX pulling a red to green move. Looks interesting. Kind of extended away from the VWAP for me, but, you know. Apple breaking lows again. How come I can't trade options for Redbox still? I see options on TOS at least. Yeah, they're still selling them on TOS. Market popping up a little bit. We'll see if Apple follows it up. Apple's still kind of breaking lows though. Bro, PTPI, man. Okay. Jet, please stop spamming PTPI. It's clear you're in it. But again, PTPI is an acquisition, brother. So coming from somebody that actually understands the stock market, man, whenever a stock has an acquisition, you'll see a crazy big gap up as you do in PTPI. I don't even have to look at the catalyst. I'm pretty sure it's an acquisition. Let me just double check so I don't look dumb. Okay, yes, it is an acquisition for $3.25 a share. And so just to give you some kind of game on why PTPI is doing this, it was acquired by another company. But generally speaking, once a stock is acquired, it might go up to close to the acquisition price, and then it remains pretty sideways. And so, you know, while if you look at a chart and you're new and it looks like some crazy big gap up, it's just an acquisition. And so it's good for holders of it before the acquisition. But right now, it's sideways. It went up to the acquisition price, and now it's sideways in a range like most acquisitions do, brother. So, you know, that is my look on PTPI. Here, again, if you want to see the chart here again, we have the acquisition move, which is this. And then what do we get after an acquisition? We get a very sideways range, which is what we have right now. Not saying it won't run. It's just not some crazy big move like you're claiming it is, brother. So, GG, good luck. Hope you make money. Anyways, back to Apple, which is what I've been kind of trading all day because it's been breaking down and I've been shorting it. Let's look at Meta. A few people talking about Meta dropping here. Yeah, Meta down to 157s. Hertz running. Snapchat getting back over VWAP. That's good. GOVX is still kind of bouncing at 2s here. We got 210s for GOVX, 210s. So GOVX just broke highs as well. What did TBLT end up doing? Meta just breaking down here. Market's looking a little weak. But yeah, TBLT consolidating as well. TBLT looks just like Redbox here, which kind of looks just like the SPY. You know, I'm not saying they're following each other, but we'll see. Here's Meta breakdown. Again, we're seeing some bearish action right now in the market. All right, Apple breaking down here, guys. So market just broke under VWAP. Here's a big level to break. Apple dipping down to 155s here. A little bit extended on the downside now. But I might short the SPY too if it sets up well enough. Let's see. Wish I get 25 or 50 shares of the SPY. Let's see if we get a red or a green candle bounce back here in this. We got a new candle opening up in about 2 seconds. All right, we're in 25 shares of the SPY. We'll see if it does something. We can add another 25 if it pops up to the 50 level. There we go. All right, we just added up to the 50 level. We got 50 shares of the SPY right now. See if we can get a flush. Consolidation. Starting to drop. There we go. All right, we'll cut a little piece of that. Try to let the rest ride down. All right, so we're going to go ahead and cover that. All right, so we're up a few bucks so far since the open. We are green on the day. Redbox kind of breaking down with it. And so here's a previous closing price level. It's the reason I got out of that trade is because I didn't really want to hold it down there. And so we're down to 401s right now, 401s. Yeah, no worries, Jet. Yeah, Meta breaking down big. What's your thought on Dave? Hyped up penny stock, was hyped up by Guru, and now it's basically quiet and slow. SPY dipping down below VWAP under previous closing price now. SPY breaking down. Market's turning here as well. You can see Apple on the right. You can see Meta dipping down also. I'm sure crypto's probably following this whole move as well. Crypto's still over 23K, so crypto is holding better. Still break it down though. Tilray, what's your take? It depends on what you think about the cannabis market. Tilray, you know, again, a lot of politicians have come out saying that they were going to legalize it, and then they never end up doing it. And so I'm going to remain cautious in the cannabis market until some politician actually does what they say they'll do and actually legalizes it federally. So until we get that, you know, we'll see what happens with Tilray. Markets break it down big. Tesla down to 835s right now. SPY getting closer to that $400 level, which is a big support level down here at 400. Psychological level as well. You know, this is the first big move we've had at the market open since, you know, the last few weeks, really. VWAP, it depends on whether it works well on crypto. It's kind of subjective, I guess. Yeah, it probably could. It just depends on what you're trading, when you're trading. Crypto has less consolidated volume as stocks. And so I've never tried it on crypto, but it might work. Do you consider TBLT a bull trap? No, I think TBLT was just a short squeeze, and short squeezes don't last forever. And so, you know, I don't know when it's going to stop or where, but I don't, you know, it's just at a certain point it's extended. Yeah, GOVX is up. It's only really moved about 10 cents though in the last 10 minutes. So just not really moving that much. SPY still breaking down big at 400s. So again, we're getting close to this $400 level here for the SPY. There's the $400 level. Meta is breaking all the way down to 155s. And so here's the kind of correction from the GDP data. So, you know, we are out now trending red against this GDP data. Market's breaking. You see Meta down big. You see SPY finally popping up some. Again, this extension on the downside is so heavy. I'm not going to short anything yet. If we bounce up, maybe I'll short. But GOVX breaking highs at 215s now. PTPI is not halted. Is it halted? I don't know. I can't tell. No, it's not halted. It is halted, actually. Yeah, you're actually correct. It's a weird place for a halt. Is it a T1 halt? News pending? It's the only thing I could think of why it would halt like it did. It wasn't abnormally high volume for a circuit breaker halt. So yeah, news pending maybe, I don't know. Market's just dumping down here. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 red candles in a row for Meta. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 minutes of all red on the SPY. So big red action here. Too extended on the downside for me to like shorting into it either. So all right, so it's a news pending halt, Cal, huh? Getting some red action right now, guys, in the market. GOVX popped up, though, over 216s. Meta finally starting to bounce back a little bit. Got a little bit of green action here, but just a brutal few minutes for the market. Big drops. PDP offering coming up. I don't think they would. I don't think they would halt the stock if it was an offering. All right, guys. So we're getting a little bit of a bounce back in the SPY. I'm gonna go ahead and short this. 25 shares. Maybe gonna add back up there. Small size right now. We're gonna see if we get a correction here. All right, we'll take 50 shares. All right, there's 50 shares. Try to give it time. Try to take a decent sized position here and hopefully reject at 400 is kind of what I'm looking at. All right, we're gonna add one more position here. We got 75 shares of the SPY. Again, hoping we reject at 400 is what we're doing. We did have some big red action though, so we might get a rebound counter there. There we go. All right, we're gonna go ahead and cut that a little bit. 25 shares left. We might actually add it right back too, but there's the flush we wanted. Maybe we should have held a little bit longer, but that's all right. Again, I've been trading pretty small leading into all this data because of all right, so we got a nice little upwork. We're gonna add some more to it. We got 40 shares. Again, we'll keep adding up to 400. All right, there's 50 shares. All right, we're going to add one more back to 75. Again, we're hoping we reject at 400 is what we want. So we've got 3 green candles here. We're slowly adding to it. I'll go ahead and take 100 shares of the SPY. So there's 100 shares of the SPY here. Again, the goal is to reject at 400 at least, or maybe break down before 400. There we go. We'll cut that. We got 50 shares left. We'll cut that. 25 shares left. Well, we got initial rejection, but it's kind of break even now that we're pushing up. Do I want to add back the size? We're kind of a break-even trade now. All right, we'll add it back. We're in 50 shares again. 25 shares again. Kind of scalping back and forth with this now. All right, a little rejection. Gonna hold this 25 shares, be a little bit more patient in it. There we go. All right, so we just got out there. We're up 15 bucks on the SPY, small, but we're just kind of poking around at it. Taking some small size, building up a cushion, and then take larger size afterwards. TBLT is starting to ramp back up some. Meta's still consolidating around those lows. We did get the rejection right at 400 that we talked about. And again, good technicals is what kind of helps me identify these levels. Yeah, we'll see. So we did get a big rejection here on the SPY. So I guess I could have shorted that a little bit more. I'm going to wait right here. I'm going to short into this small little pop with 25 shares. See if we reverse and break lows. All right, so there's the low break, kind of shorting into the pop. 10 shares left. I didn't really get too much from it. We'll just get out there. It might actually flush down. I like the upwick here, indicative of some weakness. There we go. All right, so we're up about 25. So we've been attacking this downward trend, shorting into the pops. Kind of rinsing and repeating this so far. Small little cushion. We're going to start taking some larger size now that we've built up some cushion on the day with all this stuff. But yeah, everything's got to break it down. I like your small bites. Yeah, I mean, some people hate on me. They're like, "Oh, you're making $5 a trade," but it's like it all adds up. Y'all got to think about it in this light, right? We are 20 minutes into the open, right? I have made about $25 to $30 into the opening bell in 20 minutes, right? So judging by an hour, yeah, we're making $60 to $90 an hour doing this if we're able to continue to do it. And so while I might take small trades, I'd take a lot of them, and with that, it kind of adds up. It's kind of my method. And I'm also trading smaller because it's been slow in the market. So this is we're trading lightly into it. A lot of new traders, they just want to swing for the fences and gamble, but most of the time, small, steady wins the race, kind of like the rabbit and the turtle, the tortoise. Hey, thank you, James. There is no commissions, Van. TOS has 0 commissions, sir. So yeah, I don't pay any commissions. These are all free. So this is all net. Tesla bopping up a little bit. All right, guys, we got a little pop up here. We're also watching the Q. TBLT is kind of sideways U-shape. Yeah, we're on TOS, TD Ameritrade. Rabbit and the turtle. Yeah, I mean, and y'all need to understand this. Like, a lot of the other people that run streams, they don't even show you their P&L. Like, they don't show you their P&L. They don't show you the actual trades they're getting involved with. They just kind of say, oh, well, I'm buying it here, I'm buying it here. They'll tell you after the fact. They'll be like, yeah, I just made 20 cents on this. But it's like, did they really? Or get a little bit of a pop up in the markets. All right, guys, we're hanging out. We're going to see what the market does to us. Let the market roll here. We're going to see what we get. Market's bouncing up a little bit. We're going to wait, though. Right, it's exactly, Eduardo. A lot of people want big home runs, but base hits are what makes money. Been a choppy market lately too, so it's not like there's been a huge amount of edge for most people. At least if they're trading large caps. Penny stocks, on the other hand, have been kind of going. but yeah, it varies. Let the market stabilize a little bit. Tesla bouncing back some. I think that's influenced everything here. Just letting everything ride here. Just kind of waiting, seeing if things play out. See what happens now. I think Tesla's been impacting the market well. Arch market rip. Tesla pulling back some here. TBLT finally dipping down now too. All right, there goes Tesla with a big dip now. GOVX still kind of consolidating towards those highs. Tech with a big downwick here, so that might indicate some type of bullish strength coming in. Tesla is still consolidating sideways though. Sorry for the lawnmower outside. SPY pop it back up a little bit. I was about to short it, but I guess we'll wait. We're kind of watching Tesla here to see how it's going to impact everything. There's 20 shares in the SPY. Baby trades while we have this indecision. Matthew says, I used to have a rule where I wouldn't trade any hype stock. Kathy Woods would hate you though, you know. I'm not paying any fees, VWAP. If I am paying fees, they're very negligible. All right, we're kind of scaling into this position, seeing if we get a correction back down. So we're in 40 shares, 50 shares. The SPY. We'll see if we get a flush like we're looking for here. $25 shares now. We're going to try to let this break. Covering. And big downwick. Kind of getting some chop now. All right, so we're just going to get out and wait. Just getting chopped out now, so we're just kind of chilling here. See if we can find something favorable to get involved with. Yeah, I'm on a margin account with no fees. I might have some fees, but they're very negligible, I think. Yeah, I can't look at any of that because it would tell my username, and I'm not trying to do that here. In terms of like what my fees are. All right, market pop it up a little bit. So is Tesla here. We'll see if we get a market comeback now. My TOS just froze for like 20 seconds. That was weird. Sorry, guys. We got the guys outside here, so I don't know if y'all can hear the... I don't know if y'all can hear the lawnmower, but... Sorry if it's loud. Okay, so y'all can't hear the lawnmower? I mean, I mute it, whatever it's not, but let me know if y'all can hear the lawnmower, because it's kind of loud. Mo, the GDP report's out already, brother. Look at this right here. So, hey, Mo, look right here, brother. That's the GDP report, dude. We posted minus 0.9%. Okay, cool, man. Hey, that means my mic is doing what it's supposed to, then. I know in my old house, you used to be able to hear the lawnmower, guys. Hey, well, good, man. Hey, like I said, y'all hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It's past 10 a.m. And so if you haven't already, hit the sub button, hit the notification bell. We do this live every day for free right here. So if you can take the time and hit the sub button, we certainly appreciate that. Growth has been amazing lately, guys. So we really appreciate all the love and support that we get continuously here. Also, guys, we might put it in sub-only mode for now. So we might put it in sub-only mode for now. So listen, everything we do here is free. And so, you know, one of the ways we help support the channel is just putting it in sub-only mode after a certain amount of time. And so there is sub-only mode. We'd appreciate it if you could hit the subscribe button if you have not yet. Again, I don't claim to be anything here. My main goal is just to be free. And so that's what we are. All right, we're going to short 25 shares of the SPY here. So we can get some scalps going. But again, we've gotten some choppy, you know, action over the last few minutes. So I'm going to try to be patient. You know, if we get out break even today, I'm okay with that too. I'm not, you know, on days, I don't need to push super hard every day. We're right around $400 here. So again, I'm kind of shorting into this resistance level. There's 50 shares. All right, so we're at 50 shares now. And kind of shorting into the $400 resistance level. And if we could take profit once, we will. Honestly, y'all might not be able to hear the lawnmower, but I can. And it's kind of annoying. You're like right by my ears. Okay, so yeah, y'all can hear it now. Okay. Sorry, guys. The weed eater guy or the lawnmower or whatever that is like right next to my window here. So, yeah, we're trading with leverage. Yeah, my man's going hard out there with this lawnmower. And there's 20 shares. Again, we're just kind of taking some small size leading up to this $400 level on the SPY. So we move back up to it. We'll short it and see if we can add some continuously up to this level. There's 40. Oh my gosh, man. Go away, dude. What are you doing over here? I guess he's weed eating, but damn. Yeah, I got it muted most of the time here, guys. That's why you can't hear it now. I'm muting it while he's closed. All right, so my shorts up to the $400 level have been working really nice today. This is TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim. Yeah. All right, guys. So yeah, there we go. So yeah, TBLT is kind of creeping back up some. There we go. He's finally gone. Again, it's a green day. We've been shorting the market as we pop up to the VWAP. I tried to tell you guys. I mean, listen. Who's been here since the opening bell? And I want you guys to truly understand this, right? What did I tell you my favorite strategy was? Probably the most profitable strategy I get involved with, right? What did I tell you it was? I said it is green to red moves, is what I said at the open. And that's precisely what we got today, guys. Look at this. So we break under VWAP, we break under the previous closing price, and we actually hold these levels as resistance here, right? That's signaling it's time to go short, and that's what we've been doing. And so we actually practice what we preach here, guys. I'm not trying to claim like I'm some super profitable trader, but if you can be patient and just wait for these ideal setups like this, and they'll happen at least a few times a week, you can make money in the stock market. You know, a lot of trading is made in waiting for moves. You don't have to trade nonstop constantly 24/7. You know, a lot of making money in the market is just waiting for potential moves to happen. You know, and that's all we're doing here. It's just waiting for moves to happen. If we get them, great. If not, no stress. And we're just trading small right now, considering the state of the market at this point in time. Today's not really Chop City. Today's been breaking down. At least the SPY's been breaking down, which is good. Weak action is good. I'll short markets when it does this. And we'll cut that. Yeah, TBLT's kind of creeping up some. What's Meta playing right now? Here's Meta. All right, so we're getting some breakdowns in the SPY here. We're starting to test these lows. Also, guys, if you want to help support me, another way to do so is to check out TopStep. TopStep is a funded account program for futures. And if you guys didn't know, the futures market, you can trade with no PDT rule. So if you look at this middle chart right here, this is the E-mini. And if you look at the right side here, you'll notice something. This is the same price action on the left and right. Same thing. Big drop, bounce, big drop, bounce, big drop. And you can trade this middle chart here with no PDT rule in futures. So you can day trade short with a margin account of like 2,000 or 3,000 with no PDT rule. You can short, go long in the futures market. And so it's one of the easiest ways to get around the PDT rule and trade like me if you have a small account. And TopStep funds traders in futures. And so what they do is they give you a demo, and if you can hit their targets on that demo while following all their rules and conditions, I think the base one's 50K. They'll give you a 50K demo. If you can hit, I think it's like 3,000 in profit while following their rules, then they'll fund you 50K with an 80 to 90% profit split. And this is a company that's located and regulated here in the US by the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. They pay out millions every year and fund thousands of traders a year. And you can get 20% off if you use my link. I'm certainly biased in their favor because I get a commission if you sign up through me. But it is one of the ways we subsidize the channel and keep everything free. But again, as always, I try to be honest and say I'm definitely biased in their favor. But if you want to check them out, great way to help support the channel. And if you're interested in checking out the futures market, even if you've never traded futures before, it's a lot cheaper to try this out. And it's like 160 minus 20% if you use my link than it is to put up thousands yourself and risk that. You know, you can try it out, try to get funded on TopStep. If you can't, you're only out $160. And instead of losing in real futures where you could be down a lot. And so if you want to check that out, again, here's the link. You can also find that link in the description. Getting a little bit of a bounce up in the SPY. We'll short this pop, but we're not gonna go too heavy. Let's look at what Tesla's doing. Did get a big pop up here. We break the high of this candle. We're gonna cut it. Let's see what it is. Only 20 shares. Ideally looking to flush under 399.25. I don't want to see a move back up over this though. Just gotta give myself rules to follow here, even if it's small size. There we go, getting a little bit of a flush there. All right, market's starting to turn a little bit. I'll break even on this trade now. Could add some more to this too. I don't want to see us hold at 399 and then bounce off of this level here, which is certainly possible. Yeah, TBLT, potential short squeeze candidate. It's been sideways though. Again, there's the initial bounce up at 399. Like I said, it could be a support level, and it was. I gotta add to this more. I might add to this as long as it stays down below this. We'll go ahead and take profit now that we're breaking down already. Did I whistle? If I whistled, my apologies. I'll try not to. I'm just gotta get into a flow state of trading, kind of is what you gotta do. But I'll push the mic away from my ears if it's hurting your ears, guys. Sorry, team. All right, later, Paul. All right, guys. So the market's breaking down. Do I whistle often? Hey, I'm sorry. Top 3 whistlers in the world right now. I gotta flex on everybody with my whistling skills. All right, so the market's testing lows here. This is when I might start to take some size into these pops and look for a breakdown if we can get them. There's 25 shares. There's 50 shares. Not the pop I wanted. Bad move. Worst case scenario on that pop, but that's okay. Yeah, we're gonna cut that all the way back to 399. Chopping me out a little bit. All right, so market's kind of coming back up, though. I might add right back to this. We'll see. We'll wait. Too choppy to really take any sizable direction. We're kind of going back and forth. We got that upper range at 399, 399.25 or so. So it's just too a little bit unpredictable here to attack heavy, I think. All right, so we're making some of it back on the Q here. So we're actually shorting the Q right now. Just made about 15 bucks shorting that too. We're running down. All right, so not too bad. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about USEA. We're looking at it. It's bouncing up a little bit. It's at 210s. Oh, I hear him trying to start the weed eater again. All right, so there's the market popping back up, so that's nice. We're going to have some better shorts to get involved with here. Starting to slow down a little bit. I mean, we're green on the day, but it's so small, and it's just, we'll see what we get, but kind of taking it trade by trade to here. All right, guys. So market's coming up. We got some upwicks here. I might take a 25 share SPY position on this upwick because this could be indicative of weakness coming through with candlestick going all the way up there and rejecting. Sometimes these have been faking me out lately, especially in this market though. So we got to be very careful and just tread lightly. We are at the top of this range right here, so I'm hoping we reject. But if we break, we're going to cut it quick. There's the break of the range. It might come right back down, but we're not going to push that. Getting too much sideways action. We've been sideways since 9:45. It's 10:20 roughly. So we've been sideways for about 40 minutes now. 35 minutes, 35 minutes or so. And so there's just not really any edge right now. And, you know, the main goal right now, if you're a trader, is just to probably slow it down and not force anything in this market. We'll see what we get later on. If we get closer to the VWAP, maybe I'll take some more shorts in that way. But I think we got to kind of just chill and wait for it. So getting some breakdowns now, but we're still in that range. All right. I'm doing a business email right now. My bad, guys. Kind of a slow day now at this point. Market's been staying sideways. Yeah, definitely going to be streaming those for sure. SPAC, 100% going to be streaming those. So yeah, we'll see what we get. Again, y'all hit that subscribe button, guys. We appreciate everybody joining us here today. We had a great stream today. We'll take this one more position and then we'll see what this does. Luckily, we had a cushion of the day to swing into. But a lot of indecision here in this way. Hey, I need to get hotkey set up. There we go. All the breakdown here. Still flushing. That's nice. All right, so we got out of that. Market started to test the lows again. We'll see if it breaks. PGY still breaking down. Yeah, PSHD is ripping up, but the volume's a little light for me. The trend's not bad though, but it doesn't look terrible. But I think I'll just wait on that one. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and close it down. Listen, love you all. Again, if you want to help support the channel, check out TopStep. TopStep funds traders and futures. And so they give you a demo. If you can hit their target, the futures market is the easier way to get around the PDT rule for a lot of people. Here's the E-mini in the middle. And you can see it's the exact same thing here. Big drop, sideways action, big drop, sideways action. And you can trade this middle chart with no PDT rule with a margin account and day trade and short as much as you want with a margin account with only a couple thousand if you want. And TopStep funds traders in the futures market. It's a great introduction to futures. You can try to get funded. They do allow you to trade paper as well. and they'll give you a demo. If you can hit the target on the demo while following their rules, I think with the 50K package, it's 3,000. So if you can hit 3,000 in profit while following their rules, they'll fund you 50K up to over 100K with a 90% split. Again, regulated, located in the US. You can find the link in the description. You can also find it here. Again, guys, hit that subscribe button. I appreciate all the new people we've had today. I'll see you guys later for the Amazon earnings. We're probably going to be streaming the Amazon earnings. The full earnings reaction and call. Market just broke lows, guys, so we'll see what happens, but the market's breaking down some. But hey, good luck, guys. Love you all. We'll see you guys tomorrow, or we'll see you guys later on today. Stay safe, good luck, and I appreciate all the support. See you guys later.